Trust me, you and I are about to watch the ultimate revenge arc. May 16th, 2167. Demons took the last inch of human land. Humanity? Completely wiped out. And our guy here? He was a SSS-rank Lightning Assassin, the absolute last warrior left standing with any fight in him. Facing Chen, the Demon King just sneered. A cold, arrogant laugh. He mocked him. You really think you deserve to be humanity's final hope? Your entire race is pure garbage. You cannot even take one hit. So go ahead and maximize your final pathetic bit of value. Become my next meal. Just a quick power boost for me. The Demon King's wicked laughter echoed through the dead space. Sadly, Chen had absolutely no way to fight back, but he was not done. His little sister, his brothers in arms, his beloved master, every single person he loved was butchered by these disgusting monsters right before him, and he wanted nothing more than absolute, bloody revenge. Don't blink now. If he cannot win, he takes the demon down with him. Chen immediately triggered his SSS rank ultimate arc lightning skill. No hesitation. A blinding light exploded from his body, so bright that the king and his monstrous army were completely blinded. They could not even move a single muscle. But the price was heavy. Chen's own body started disintegrating from the massive energy. As his consciousness slowly started to fade away, fragments of memories flashed back like a movie. He saw his sister, his parents, and his master. Chen smiled faintly. We are all going to meet again soon. Just a pity I was not strong enough. If only I had a bit more power. The Demon King shrieked in absolute fury. You lowly human trash actually hurt me. But before he could even finish, his giant body started crumbling right alongside Chen. Just like that, Chen perished, carrying a heart full of bitter rage. His final thought? If only he could turn back time. Go back to that specific year and find the demon lair way earlier. If he could just stop the very first Demon King from ever appearing, then he would not have lost absolutely everything in such a tragic, brutal way. He truly thought that was the final moment of his entire life. You and I both thought it was over. But suddenly, he saw light. Who knows how much time passed? He groggily opened his eyes, only to find himself lying in a bed, his left hand roughly bandaged up. Wait a second, am I still alive? Chen was completely stunned, looking left and right, wondering where on earth he was. He got up, slipped on his shoes, and glanced out the nearest window. The courtyard below was bustling with people walking around. Chen's heart absolutely skipped a beat. What is this sight? Was not the entire human world already totally destroyed? So where did all these people come from? Pure confusion flooded his mind, and it took him a really long time to accept this insane reality. He actually traveled back in time 10 whole years, right back to his early student days. But here is the craziest part of all. He brought back his gluttony power too before the tragedy. May 16th, 2157. An absolutely massive, totally broken upgrade. This is exactly 3 years before the Demon Kings drop from the sky. In just 3 years, the very first Demon King named Wrath will appear. Wrath opens Hell's gates, bringing the others. So what do you and I do now? We hunt them all down. Let's jump straight into a completely destroyed world, where our main character, Chen, literally lost absolutely everything. But now he has actually returned to the past, and a wild idea hits his mind. Wasn't that monster Wrath the root cause of every single problem? So if he just defeats him, he can stop the gates of hell from ever opening up. Maybe heaven actually wanted him to do exactly that, giving him a second chance to change everything. But right now, a mysterious glowing status window suddenly pops up directly in front of his face. It says the power of gluttony has finished fusing, but Chen has zero clue what that means. Ever since he opened his eyes, this screen has been floating right there, refusing to disappear no matter what he tries. Chen slowly reaches out to touch it. His hand goes right through, but the info on the panel shifts. It shows his name, at level 1. Right below are 6 basic attributes, starting with strength, stamina levels, elemental power, speed, luck, and his mental energy, all starting at a baseline of 100 points. Now watch closely, this game data is where things get really insane. Could these actually be his very own current attribute points right now? But he has absolutely never seen this kind of system. In his past life, Chen only ever fought using awakened powers. Only 1 in 10,000 people in this world can actually awaken successfully. And the school he is currently attending at this moment is the elite National Awakened University, accepting only those with real awakening potential. Too bad that in his previous life, Tron completely failed to awaken his powers. Throughout his entire university life, for 4 straight years, he was dead last in the food chain. Anyone could kick or beat him up for fun, which is probably exactly why he just woke up in the school infirmary. Looks like somebody really beat him up once again. Are you ready for this? The status window suddenly buzzes and changes. It displays the exact Lightning Assassin class he used in his past life, and it comes with 2 epic skills. First is Flash God, shooting electricity through his body to boost movement speed 10 times in a blink. Second is his Lightning Blade, concentrating energy into a sword, massively increasing his critical damage for any attack. Hitting a weak point causes instant paralysis. Tron is completely shocked seeing his old class return. Even crazier, at this exact moment, he can faintly feel real energy pulsing deep inside his veins right now. Could this actually be the inherited power from his past life? Did he somehow awaken way earlier this time? Thinking about this gets his blood boiling with hype. He desperately wants to test this new power by trying to summon his assassin class immediately. But before he can even succeed, the clinic door suddenly clicks wide open. A kid wearing glasses with bandages all over his face peeks inside. That is Ma Long, his college roommate who awakened an E-rank chanter class. Hey bro, you are finally awake. Is your body doing okay now? Ma Long excitedly rushes over. That screen stays open, and trust me, we're hooked. Yet his friend literally cannot see it. Oh, I am completely fine now. He answers calmly. Sure enough. Stick with me here, no one else can see this system screen, but his friend remains absolutely worried. He checks him all over, then completely freaks out when he realizes every single one of Chen's injuries has vanished, even though the poor guy took a massive beating just yesterday. Bro, your healing speed is literally way faster than an actual awakened like your big bro here. How is that possible? Ma Long fusses over him like a mother hen, constantly double-checking just to make absolutely sure his little chick is actually okay. Chen goes quiet, suddenly remembering his best buddy's dark past life fate. Even though the guy did awaken during their college years, he was still ranked dead last in their class. In that previous timeline, when the 3rd Demon King attacked, Ma Long met a tragic end. But right now, he is genuinely standing right here in front of him, totally alive. Because of this, you feel that too, right? This is the exact moment it finally hits him. He really traveled back in time. Ma Long frantically waves his hands before finally remembering something super important. He blurts out, "Oh right, yeah, tomorrow is the official rank assessment test. If you are seriously okay now, then we need to hurry back and start getting ready immediately. Even if you haven't awakened your powers yet, this test is still totally tied to our final graduation. Let's go now." Chen just lets the guy push him along. The school campus is completely packed and noisy. Students are playing basketball over there, others are jogging around. Watching all this normal, everyday activity makes Chen deeply emotional, since it has been incredibly long since he saw this many living humans. Ma Long hears him mutter this, but he just brushes it off as some really weird, unfunny joke. He asks, "Bro, are we seriously going to keep walking circles around the sports field?" Chen stays silent, his sharp eyes still carefully observing his entire surroundings. He is a man who literally lost everything. Looking at this incredibly vibrant and peaceful scene, he simply can't hold back his feelings. But he knows. I know what you are thinking. If he does absolutely nothing, that brutal apocalyptic future comes right back. To stop that nightmare, Chen needs to form a solid plan right now and level up incredibly fast. In this current era, there is only one absolute path for the awakened to level up, and that is hunting monsters inside the dangerous dungeons. But those highly profitable dungeons are all entirely dominated by the massive guilds, leaving outsiders with zero chance to ever enter and gain power. If the stats shining on his brand new status window reflect his true current baseline power, then just how much raw strength does he actually hold compared to the other awakened fighters and those deadly monsters? To clearly measure everyone's battle capabilities, the government established a strict grading system for both the awakened and the beasts, ranking them from top to bottom. The power tiers are systematically divided into S, A, B, C, D, and the absolute lowest, E. While most of the students here have successfully awakened, they basically cannot level up, so they are stuck at E tier. Only a handful of true prodigies or kids backed by rich guild families can actually manage to hit that D rank level. Even though he can roughly calculate his strength using his intense past life experience, So what do you and I make of this? Even he is unsure what rank he will score. Regardless of the outcome, he is definitely way stronger than Ma Long. Thinking about this, he just shot his buddy a quick, sharp glance. And Ma Long? He had zero clue what you and I know his bro is plotting something totally wild. Out of nowhere, a basketball comes flying from a distance, smashing brutally right into Ma Long's face for absolutely no reason. The impact was insanely heavy, knocking him flat onto the ground while his glasses go flying and completely shatter to pieces. Then comes a super sarcastic, mocking voice. Yo, if it isn't our favorite punching bags, see Chen and Ma Long, look at them, healing up pretty fast over there. Hearing that voice, Ma Long couldn't help but physically shake in fear. Man, our luck is the absolute worst. We ran into him again. Si Chen looked toward the sound, spotting a group of massive guys staring them down with total disgust. One look and you know they're pure trouble. I told you these two losers were great at taking a beating. You punks clearly knew I was playing ball here today. So why didn't you bring me my 2 buckets of drinking water, huh? Si Chen's memory of 15 years ago was honestly pretty hazy. But seeing Ma Long hurriedly bow his head in pathetic apology, it was dead obvious this punk had bullied them over and over again. But watch closely this time around, he's totally different. He bravely stood tall right in front of Ma Long, completely stopping his friend from running off to buy water. He wasn't the one in the wrong here. Those bullies were the ones who owed an apology. Digging through his slightly foggy mind, a few seriously dark and traumatic memories suddenly started rushing back to the surface. Like the time these exact thugs shoved his head deep into a water tank until he was literally suffocating, while Ma Long just stood on the sidelines, hopelessly begging them to stop because he couldn't do anything else. And the only reason he got bullied this brutally, it was simply because Si Chen hadn't awakened any powers yet. Those scumbags justified their sick actions by claiming they just wanted to stimulate him a bit so he'd awaken faster. Every single time, Si Chen was absolutely tortured. They only lost interest and backed off when he completely blacked out from the pain. Only then could Ma Long finally rush over, catch him, and desperately drag him off to the school infirmary. I know what you're thinking. Monsters aren't just in dungeons, pure evil exists right here in normal school life too. Why won't you just leave us alone? Si Chen vividly remembered choking out those words the time he almost drowned. The result? Those bastards, who were actually walking away, heard him and came right back to beat him down again. Exactly like right now, sitting high up and looking down with pure arrogance. Ma Long was already panicking, ready to go buy their water, but Si Chen blocked him. This was the very first time he had ever shown such fierce, stubborn defiance, which is exactly why both Ma Long and that arrogant jerk were completely caught off guard. He instantly stood up, clearly wanting to teach this rebellious loser a harsh lesson. That specific scumbag was Gong Cheng, an E-rank combat warrior, always followed around by a few intensely loyal and annoying lackeys. Gong Cheng loved flexing the fact that his older brother was the school's strongest student council president, so he constantly strutted around campus, aggressively bullying anyone he wanted. But let's be real, his actual personal combat abilities were complete garbage. Seeing Gong Cheng stand up and march towards Si Chen, the surrounding crowd of students couldn't help but cover their mouths, laughing. They looked incredibly hyped up for a good show. Hey, look over there. Gong Cheng is about to trash them again. Haha, wait, didn't those two literally just get out of the infirmary? One has the weakest awakening, and the other hasn't even awakened at all. The absolute most useless trash in school totally deserve this. Through the whispers, you and I can feel the tension as Gong Cheng stops right in front of Si Chen. He growled, twisting his face into a demonic scowl as he demanded, "What the hell did you just say?" But Tu Chen does not even flinch, straight up telling them to back off for good. Gong Cheng immediately swings a heavy punch. You are just begging for a massive beating, right? I know what you are expecting, our guy getting his face completely smashed in again. But everything has changed now. This time, he simply raises his hand and accurately strikes right at the joint. With just this one tiny movement, Tu Chen completely neutralizes the bully's brutal punch. Gong Cheng is forced to stumble back a few steps in complete shock. The surrounding onlookers all share the exact same dumbfounded expressions on their faces. Even seeing it with their own eyes, they absolutely cannot believe it. What in the world just happened right there? Did he actually just block Gong Cheng's super heavy punch like that? Damn it. Am I hallucinating right now? This kid clearly has not even awakened his class yet. Gong Cheng clearly feels like this is the ultimate public humiliation. How could he possibly get pushed back by some weak, completely unawakened loser like him? The more he refuses to accept reality, the more aggressively he wants to smash Chen. Now pay close attention here. Our boy needs a test dummy for his new powers, so why not use him? His secret class change process has already been completely finished. Chen is officially a lightning-type assassin now. Yeah, he is only at level 1 so far, but his raw physical strength has doubled, and his movement speed just tripled. Seeing crackling blue electricity sparking all around his best friend, Ma Long absolutely drops his jaw, stuttering for a while before he can finally speak. Wait, hold on. Since when did you manage to actually awaken? Chen does not have time to chat right now. Instead, he just crooks his fingers, totally provoking the guy standing opposite him. Gongcheng goes absolutely feral, instantly activating his undying demon armor and charging straight forward. Looks like you completely forgot the terrifying taste of my lethal assassin punch. You absolute idiot. If this massive punch hits any normal person, it would literally shatter their bones to dust. But Chen, possessing the insane natural agility of a real assassin, does not even give this brute a single chance to get close to him. Moving as fast as lightning, he dashes aggressively toward his rushing opponent. The bully barely takes 3 steps before Chen's devastating counterstrike lands perfectly first. Gongcheng takes the full impact and gets violently blasted right onto his back. You and I both saw how crazy that was. The crowd goes wild because his speed is just unbelievable. In the blink of an eye, the devastating strike lands. They could not even see clearly how he managed to take that arrogant bastard down. Is this guy seriously still Chen? What the actual hell just happened here? More and more curious students keep gathering around to watch the epic showdown. Meanwhile, Gongcheng, who just got slammed face first into the dirt, finally scrambles back up to his feet. His pride refuses to accept he just got totally floored by the guy he constantly bullied. So he loudly starts throwing dirty accusations, claiming Chen used a cheap sneak attack. What the hell are you idiots just standing around there for? He screams out, desperately wanting his loyal lackeys to teach Chen a painful lesson. However, right now, absolutely no one dares to move an inch, let alone start trouble with him, simply because the current Chen looks like an absolute terrifying monster. So in the end, humiliated Gongcheng has to step up himself. He is way too blind and angry to realize Chen is entirely different today. He only wants bloody revenge. But the ultimate price for acting faster than his brain? Gongcheng's furious strike gets completely blocked by Chen once again. He instantly grabs the bully's wrist, squeezing it down incredibly tight, making him scream in pure agony. Trust me, we are just getting started. Let's dive in. But he's not done yet. Chen's other hand balls up into a tight fist. Before throwing the punch, he looks him dead in the eye. You're absolute trash, and you know exactly what happens next. Gongcheng takes the hit directly. The massive guy gets completely blasted away. This time, he flies even further than before. A bright red handprint is stamped right across his face from the brutal slap. He looks absolutely pathetic. There's not a single spot on him left unbruised. The entire room goes completely dead silent, making the loud thud of Ma Long collapsing onto the floor echo even louder. He's shaking uncontrollably now, way worse than when he was actually getting bullied, mumbling over and over again. Chen, since when did he become such a monster? But Chen couldn't care less about everyone staring at him right now. He's too busy checking his own system stats. Right now, he can already figure out a few basic things about his new power. Number 1. Just like it was before. Watch closely here. He can switch into his Lightning Assassin form whenever he wants, even though his system level is technically still stuck at level 1, but just exactly like Chen predicted. His normal base stats are already more than enough to completely crush the lowest level awakened fighters. This basically confirms his current power tier is already pushing way past E rank. Exactly how high his tier goes though? Still a mystery. But there is one major thing that Chen just cannot wrap his head around. He just totally humiliated Gongcheng in a fight, yet his system experience points haven't moved up a single inch. Could the method for farming experience be exactly the same as it was before? The moment that thought hits him, a crackling lightning dagger materializes right in his hand. He quickly closes the distance, walking straight toward Gongcheng. The sheer killer intent rolling off him absolutely terrifies every single person watching from the sidelines. Chen, what in the world are you trying to do? Ma Long stammers weakly, absolutely panicking as he watches his friend press a literal blade of lightning right against Gongcheng's throat. Gongcheng is already paralyzed with fear. He's just sitting there frozen like a statue, completely at Chen's mercy. Nobody has any idea if he actually plans to strike him down right here or not. I know what you're thinking. Is he gonna do it? Nope, a girl interrupts him. Hey classmate, you do realize this is still a school. I know he started it, but I think you have punished him more than enough already. The girl who just stepped up looks super neat and confident. That's Ling Yu, the vice president of the Academy's student council. Right after stepping in and stopping Tu Chen's blade, she calmly adds on one more thing. I guarantee he won't ever dare to lay a finger on you guys again after this. Even though he really dislikes dealing with the student council, she did come all the way out here to stop him. Tu Chen decides to drop it and finally lets Gong Cheng go. He wasn't planning on taking things too far anyway. It's just that with bullies like this, if you don't completely crush their ego once, they'll keep coming back to bother you forever. Tu Chen casually walks away and nobody dares block him. The crowd immediately splits right down the middle, making a wide path for him. Meanwhile, Gong Cheng's goons are basically hiding in a corner. They just peek out, nervously whispering among themselves. Man, the look in that dude's eyes just now was seriously terrifying. We should definitely never try to mess with him ever again. Is that really even Tu Chen anymore? Weren't those two guys supposed to be the biggest losers in the entire academy? Ma Long quickly scrambles to catch up with him. Watching the two of them just casually walk away at their own pace, Ling Yu cracks a very subtle smirk, asking herself in a pretty sarcastic tone, the weakest and poorest losers? So what do we think? Back at the dorm, Ma Long immediately tells his roommates everything. He waves his hands around, looking completely hyped and animated. But stick with me here. Because Tu Tran waking up as an insanely overpowered lightning assassin? Yeah, it sounds completely unbelievable. So his two other roommates completely tune out this wild story. So where exactly did he go then? Hang Ta, an E-tier mage, picks his ear. He said he went jogging. Ma Long replies, instantly getting blasted. If he is so insanely strong, why even jog? Do awakened ones really need basic physical training like that? That sounds totally ridiculous, right? Hang Hu, an E-tier chanter, looks just as bored as Ma Long. They totally doubt Tu Tran awakened, assuming Ma Long literally got his brain bashed in. The reason all four of them share this one dorm room? They literally hold the absolute lowest 4-tier rankings in their grade. Hang Ta is their strongest. Ma Long and Hang Hu are fire chanters, pure support roles. Meanwhile, he is an earth mage, the only actual combat class in their dorm, now suddenly claiming that Tu Tran has actually awakened? And as an elite assassin? How could Hang Ta ever accept that? Seeing Hang Ta endlessly roasting Ma Long, Hang Hu finally snaps and cuts him off. Now pay attention. Tomorrow is their final tier evaluation, right before graduation. Everything becomes clear then. Meanwhile, a squad just stepped out of an E-tier trial dungeon. Lin Vu follows closely, and that handsome, blood-stained guy leading is Kung Din, the Academy Student Council president. He is also Kung Than's brother. But honestly, they look completely different from each other. Today's trial ends right here. Kung Din announces to the group. Everyone respectfully bows. His gaze sweeps over a tall, heavily bandaged guy standing nearby. Were you waiting for me right here, Kung Than? Kung Than obviously came to snitch about Tu Tran teaching him a brutal lesson earlier. His eyes scream pure hatred, his words laced with heavy provocation. Brother, if you do not handle this, I cannot even sleep. He humiliated your own brother in front of everyone, clearly showing absolutely zero respect for you. I understand. I will help you handle him, Kung Din calmly replies. Yet during dinner with Lin Vu, Kung Din acts completely unbothered by the whole thing. Sitting across from him, she actually loses patience first, asking how exactly Kung Din plans to handle this mess. Kung Than being weaker than others is one thing, but is that guy really as strong as claimed? He asks her right back. That guy obviously means Tu Tran. Lin Vu gently shakes her head. Let's pause for a second. Both of them already know every single student's exact power level here. Under 10 people reached D rank, and he already recruited all of them into his club. Plus, literally nobody else gets actual access to clear dungeons like Kung Din does. In other words, those completely average awakened students have absolutely zero way to level up. There is simply nobody who can keep up with Kung Din. Later that night, heavy rain pours down, but someone is still running laps non-stop. It is Tu Tran. Carrying two 100-kilo weights for 20 kilometers as basic training? Trust me, You and I are watching a monster wake up, but intense training can improve physical fitness. Stick with me here. An awakened's upper limit is directly tied to their raw physical strength. Only a body that is tough enough can actually endure and completely unleash a class's full maximum power. That is exactly why he is out here training like an absolute madman. Because he knows his current physical stats are nowhere near enough to handle the overpowered class he just got. Back in the year 2160, the terrifying demon Lord of Wrath left the abyss and descended upon humanity. In just a flash, he brutally wiped out countless people, including Chen's very last remaining family member in the entire world, his little sister. He is also the one who tore open Hell's gates, letting other demon lords invade our world. So Chen's absolute first priority in this early stage? Hunt down and completely obliterate Wrath. He only has exactly 3 years left to do it. Sounds like plenty of time, but Wrath is rapidly growing stronger too. Now watch closely, Chen has to be faster than him. Suddenly, his phone starts ringing mid-run. Just seeing the caller ID makes his heart completely skip a beat, because it is Si-yoon, his sister. He throws on his earbuds and hits answer. Her voice comes through the line, sounding so distant, almost like an echo from an entirely different world. Hello? Why did you call me so much today? I had a tournament, and my phone battery just completely died on me. I just got back to the dorm to charge it. Bro, I told you already. If I win the prize money this time, we can finally cover our rent for good. Haha, Si-yoon's bright, cheerful laughter just leaves Chen standing there in stunned silence. In that ruined, broken future, he must have prayed to the heavens a million times, begging for just one single chance to start all over. Even if it cost him absolutely everything, even if it meant dragging himself right back through an endless, agonizing hell, now that everything has actually restarted, you feel it too, right? With Si-yoon still alive, it all feels way too good to be true. Hey brother, is it raining over there? Why aren't you saying anything? Nothing. Chen finally manages to speak. It has been way too long since I heard your voice. His face is completely soaked. Is it rain or tears? Hard to tell. Si-yoon on the other end is totally confused. She asks, what are you even talking about? Didn't we just talk on the phone 2 days ago? Wait until my tournament finishes, then we can meet up. Just wait for my good news. Bye. The call ends, and Chen immediately snaps right back to reality. The heavens actually heard his desperate pleas, letting him restart this entire timeline from the very beginning. So now, he has to go all out to make sure that tragic past never repeats itself. With that thought in mind, he decides to run 3 more laps. He absolutely has to get insanely strong as fast as humanly possible, just to protect everything he holds dear. By the time everyone else is fast asleep, Chen finally heads back to his dorm. 8 hours have passed since he regressed to this era, and he is slowly getting used to this body again. His physical durability is still pretty weak right now, but man, feeling young again is just amazing. Fresh out of the shower, Chen starts chewing on the most critical question. Leveling up means he must enter the Abyss dungeons. But like we mentioned, the major guilds completely monopolize those danger zones. Outside of the rich elites, most regular awakened do not even get a single chance to level up. So how exactly is he supposed to get his hands on some magic beasts? And what about that gluttony power? What the hell is it actually? Lost in his own deep thoughts, Chen drifts off to sleep without even realizing it. But trust me on this, while he sleeps, the gluttony system quietly boots up. The real game starts now. Once the startup process officially finishes, you and I are about to see something wild. Chen, fast asleep in bed, suddenly feels like he's free-falling. Pure shock. But just for a second. Relying on his years of combat experience, he flips mid-air and lands perfectly on his feet. But the scenery around him? Completely bizarre and unknown. Chen looks around, totally clueless about where he actually is, especially since he was definitely just sleeping in his dorm room. Right in front of him stands a massive tower, and surrounding him is a creepy pool of water, stained dark red like blood. Seriously chilling stuff. Suddenly, a few nasty creatures start crawling right out of the water. They are literal zombies. Dungeon monsters with power equal to an E-rank warrior. Chen instantly recognizes these magic beasts, figuring out he's somehow trapped inside a dungeon. Putting aside the massive question of why he's here, he immediately switches his class over to Assassin. The situation is super unclear right now, but taking out these annoying pests is definitely top priority. Now watch this closely. The zombies charge like rabid dogs, but Chen is an absolute beast. lightning-fast speed, and incredibly decisive, brutal strikes. After taking down the monsters, the loot items he gets are actually their teeth. Based on his current power level, dealing with E-rank trash mobs like these zombies is honestly not a tough challenge for him at all. During the fight, he feels every single impact. This is way too real to just be a dream. Even crazier, after farming mobs for a bit, he actually gets a system notification for leveling up, which proves that earning real experience points in this place is an absolute fact. After hitting level 2, every single one of his stat attributes shoots up by 5 points. Chen's eyes go wide, feeling a rush of excitement he can't even put into words. Did he seriously just get a solo dungeon he can grind all by himself? If that's the case, he definitely needs to stay and train hard in here. Right on cue, the boss monster, the Zombie King, finally shows up. Even though it's a boss, Chen still handles the fight with pretty ridiculous ease. With the boss down, he instantly scores 320 experience points, rocketing straight to level 3. Jumping 2 whole levels in just a few minutes? This is easily the best thing since his regression. Chen stares right at the Zombie King's dead body. Or more accurately, he's looking at the strange text floating right above its head. You and I both see it, right? Devourable. That floating word blows his mind. What does that even mean? Full of doubt, he slowly reaches his hand out. Instantly, a blindingly bright light erupts straight out from the palm of his hand. Could this actually be the true hidden meaning behind that massive gluttony power notification he received from the system yesterday? Under that glowing light radiating from his palm, the Zombie King's corpse gets sucked in bit by bit. A progress bar also pops up in front of him, showing he's actively devouring the enemy. Once the devouring process fully completes, another brand new status window immediately appears right in front of him, this time displaying all the details of the target he just completely absorbed. Just like that, the monster is fully absorbed by Chen, turning into a card. Even he is absolutely shocked, never expecting he had the insane ability to kill and then swallow enemies, literally transforming them into brand new classes for his own personal use. For just a split second. And trust me, that flash of memory with Demon Lord Lan Yue means things will get wild. Mutual destruction in his previous life. His insane ability was literally devouring his enemies. Did he actually manage to drag Lamingweit's unbelievable power back from his past life into this one? Then Tutron straight up stole the gluttony power that originally belonged to the Demon King. Alright, stick with me here. This info completely stunned him, especially since jobs in this world have strictly locked power levels from birth. In other words, every single person is normally stuck with just one job for life. But right now, Tutran is somehow wielding 2 jobs at the same time. Not to mention later on, if he devours even more magic beasts, he could basically stockpile an endless amount of entirely different, overpowered jobs. This reality leaves him feeling totally thrilled, but also seriously on edge. Tutran still has absolutely no idea why he was blessed with this broken power. And what on earth is up with that massive magic tower right behind him? Just as he thinks this, his body gets brutally crushed down by an overwhelmingly intense and powerful aura. Tutran feels like an invisible hand is literally suffocating his beating heart. And then, a dark figure suddenly materializes right in front of the magic tower. It speaks, "You finally arrived. I have been waiting for you here for so long, Tutran. Now watch closely, because the second this thing appears, you and I can literally feel the pure terror surging through him. Simply because this monster is an absolute S-rank lord. The government strictly classifies both awakeners and beasts into different power tiers based purely on raw combat strength, the absolute lowest being E and the highest is S. In his past life, he nearly died just trying to reach that legendary S rank, but right now, his absolute peak power level is probably only hovering around D rank. Yet inside this completely nameless devil's den, Tutran is somehow standing face to face with an S-rank boss. The level gap here is beyond massive, with this beast completely crushing every single one of his stats. Tutran grips his electric blade tight, desperately fighting to defend himself. His head is spinning with questions. What kind of insane devil's den is this anyway? Why on earth is an S-rank beast here? And even worse, how does it know his name? But Tutran gets zero time to overthink this nightmare, because the enemy is already launching another devastating attack right at him. But the really weird part is that he actually survived dozens of rounds against it. I know what you are thinking. During that whole time, it had endless chances to instantly kill him. Yet with every single strike, the enemy intentionally dodges his fatal weak points, simply opting to knock him down into the dirt over and over again. Still fighting back? The enemy on the other side rumbles in a deep voice. Watching Tutran fiercely force himself back up, he realizes this boss actually wants to completely subjugate him. He just has absolutely no clue what its ultimate twisted goal really is. It speaks again. You really better reconsider the generous options that I just gave you. Will you stay right here and guard this magic tower by my side? This is a wildly rare opportunity for you. Facing this sudden, bizarre proposal, Tutran fires back without hesitating for even a single second. I do not care what you say. I am absolutely never staying in this damn cursed place. The exact second he finishes speaking, an absolutely gut-wrenching pain violently rips through his left arm. His arm gets cleanly severed just like that, and the monster's tone suddenly shifts, becoming even more dark and terrifying than before. Do you seriously think I will not end your life? The only reason you live is because you are the one person who could reach here. That is precisely why I have been so patient. Now I am asking you one last time. Stay here, or let me completely crush you. And it is crystal clear that this is not just an empty threat, because in a single flash, the beast violently absorbs something twisted from the dead rookie corpses. And trust me, you and I are going to want to see this. Its power skyrockets, physically ripping the ground straight up into the air. Stick with me, this guy is built like an absolute tank. And Chen? Just an ant, ready to be crushed into dust at any given second. But our boy refuses to bow down. Instead, he glares right back and fiercely shouts, I choose to kill you. Ridiculous. That is all the giant mutters before aiming his massive weapon straight at Chen. Instantly, the massive boulders floating around him lock on and launch toward our main character at absolutely breakneck speeds. He wasn't bluffing at all. He really wants to crush Chen into literal meat paste. However, backed by a whole past life of hardcore combat experience, our guy is far from an easy target. Chen uses his insane agility to dodge and weave through the flying rocks, closing the distance. Throughout this whole clash, he has been watching very closely. Before every single strike, the giant takes exactly 0.4 seconds to wind up his blade. He can totally exploit this tiny window to track the exact angle of the wrist flick, predicting the trajectory and perfectly dodging the deadly blade. Putting that theory into action right now, Chen flawlessly evades the incoming slash. But even more importantly, after each swing, the enemy needs an extra 0.2 seconds to recover from the heavy attack. Now, watch closely, hitting this exact blind spot is his only chance to strike while the enemy is exposed. Just like that, in a flash, Chen drives his electric knife straight through his opponent's heart. In those incredibly short but precious 0.2 seconds, the electric blade triggers a massive paralyzing effect upon hitting a critical weak point. He knows perfectly well a D rank cannot kill an S rank, but this full-power paralyzing shockwave will at least lock the monster down for a crucial few seconds. The guy's speed is just insane, leaving him zero time to make space before. But right now, the golden opportunity is here. Chen immediately triggers his flash skill. In a literal heartbeat, his movement speed instantly multiplies by 10. These few short seconds are more than enough for him to make a clean escape. Of course, Chen is not just running away completely blind. Throughout this entire brutal fight, he kept scanning his surroundings and noticed a single glowing light source far off in the distance. He sprints straight toward that exact beacon of hope. But you and I know it is never that easy, right? Right as his fingertips almost reach it, the light completely vanishes. Too bad, that was nothing but a fake illusion I left behind. The exit you are desperately looking for does not exist, because this place is not a demon den at all. The Lord's ice-cold voice suddenly echoes right from behind him. Instantly, every single hair on Chen's body stands straight up in terror. However, you somehow manage to find the hidden flaw in my attacks incredibly fast. Now that is genuinely interesting. Even when facing absolute despair, you stayed perfectly calm, analyzed the situation, and risked everything to find a tiny sliver of survival. You truly are someone who brings hope. Only now does Chen get a clear look at his enemy's true form. He is Purgatory Rakshasa, an S-rank star warrior. But the thing that makes Chen panic the absolute most is this specific appearance. He had already seen it before on the Lam Nguyen Demon King. The last time he saw Lam Nguyen looking like this, it was during their final, ultimate showdown. That was the legendary battle where he had to sacrifice his very life, just to barely drag that monster down to hell with him. Lam Nguyen had switched between countless absurdly powerful combat classes, and he remembers perfectly well. One of them is the exact form standing right in front of him now. That terrifying realization makes Chen practically choke on air. Let that sink in for a second. This Rakshasa was once devoured by Lamenguyet's gluttony power. And in this life, that exact same monstrous power has merged into his own body. Stick with me here. Chen just realized something totally insane. Is he actually standing inside his own body right now? Almost like he's reading his mind, Rakshasa actually chuckles and throws him some unexpected, serious praise. Oh, so you are not just a brilliant fighter. Your brain is incredibly sharp too. You deserve everything this place has to offer. Before Chen can even process what that means, boom, a shiny SSS-rank item drops right in front of his face. The Time Rift Key, the one and only artifact capable of unlocking the legendary Demon Tower gates. Rakshasa explains that Cold Moon had devoured countless vicious, terrifying demons in the past. And the absolute strongest beasts among them? They are all permanently sealed inside that massive tower behind him. Because Chen managed to figure out this place's core secret on his own, Rakshasa officially hands the ultimate key over to him. Devour them all, keep leveling up, and turn every single one of those monsters into your own power. Gripping that heavy, glowing key in his hand. Now pay attention to this part. He stares at it, completely baffled, asking why Rakshasa is doing all of this. Why go out of his way to help him, when he is literally a demonic beast himself? Even demons have good and evil. Those corrupt demon kings mercilessly slaughtered my entire tribe, just for their own twisted, selfish gains and absolute power. I have been patiently waiting for the perfect chance to finally get my revenge. Luckily, I finally ran into you. Turns out, that guy was completely right. You are our only hope. You are the absolute only one who can actually pull this off. Rakshasa drops all this heavy lore, his giant body slowly fading into thin air. But Chen only catches that last part. He mentioned that guy. Wait, who the heck is that guy supposed to be? He demands an answer, but Rakshasa just stays quiet, hinting that the real truth is hidden inside that looming demon tower. From now on, you explore alone. Take my power, hunt them down, and give them the bloody revenge they deserve. Starting right now, you must grow stronger. Blast open those tower gates and absolutely devour every single thing trapped inside. But never forget, the monsters locked in there? They will not show you a shred of mercy like I did. Rakshasa was honestly a pretty decent demon, leaving Chen with all these crucial, life-saving warnings. I know what you're thinking, demons are pure evil. And yeah, he stresses that the beasts inside are insanely cunning and vicious. But Chen has to endure the brutal pain and totally conquer every single obstacle, because that is the only way to reach the absolute peak and fight those sadistic demon kings. Only a ruthless survivor exactly like you is truly worthy of wielding my dark power. Those were the absolute last words Rakshasa spoke, before his giant form completely crumbled into floating ash. A beautiful swirling orb of bright purple light floats upward, then gently drops right into the palm of Chen. Just like before, his body instantly and automatically devours the fallen monster's lingering raw energy. And after absorbing Rakshasa, Chen gets a massive power spike, jumping straight from level 3 to level 10. He also immediately unlocks 2 insane legendary weapons from him, known as the Rakshasa Underworld Bones. Even though they were completely different races, one a human, one a demon, after absorbing him, Chen can literally feel all the agonizing pain and bitter, deep-rooted hatred Rakshasa carried. So he makes a cold vow to carry that burden, taking on his revenge as well, and forcing those arrogant demon kings to pay back their massive blood debt in full. Just like that, Rakshasa Purgatory gets unlocked as a brand new hidden class for Chen. It grants him 2 broken skills, 100 Bones Return and the devastating 3-phase Calamity. 100 Bones Return lets him literally siphon the physical strength from dead corpses and all the surrounding energy, then perfectly converts that raw essence straight into his own personal power at a fixed ratio. But get this. 3-phase Calamity crushes enemies using 3 gravity attack forms. Trust me, you'll want to see this in action. Hey, lightweights, heavyweights, super heavyweights, get up right now. Stick with me here. Before Chen even entered the tower, someone started screaming. He opens his eyes to broad daylight. Turns out, he is already back in the dorm. Xiangzuo and the guys are scrambling to change clothes, rushing against the clock. Do not drag your feet. We have to wear our uniforms today. Chen freezes for a second. Everything that just happened felt way too real. But when he pulls back his shirt to check, the wound is completely healed up. This makes him seriously doubt everything. Was all that crazy stuff earlier just a wild dream? But the moment he opens his system, he spots 2 job cards right there. The exact same ones he collected last night. So it wasn't a dream. Every single second actually happened. Now pay attention to this, all that epic loot from his dream is sitting right in his hands. In just one single night, he skyrocketed straight to level 16. His stats have all hit 150 points. He has absolutely no clue what rank that equals right now. Guess today's test will give the answer. Hey, Chen. Xiangzuo pops up out of nowhere, totally cutting off his train of thought. Someone was praising you last night, saying you have actually gotten a lot stronger lately. Even saying you might threaten my spot as the absolute best guy in this dorm, huh? Ma Long thinks Xiangzuo is being super childish, but he is too scared to speak up. After all, that guy is ridiculously obsessed with being the 4th worst student in the whole school. He is desperate to tell the whole world that Chen is still a bigger loser than him. Let's go, the rank evaluation is about to start. I want to see exactly what kind of weight you are throwing around now. On the way to the test site, Xiangzuo just won't shut up. Previously, their whole dorm was stuck at E rank, but each major rank gets broken down into tiers. Chen, Xiangyu, and Ma Long were all low E rank back then. He was the exact only one sitting pretty at mid E rank. The power gap between those tiers is massive. That is exactly why Xiangzuo acts so incredibly arrogant. So, against weaklings like you guys, I could easily take on 10 at once. You get it? Haha. Since I haven't tested in 2 years, my rank has probably gone up even higher. You and I both see this guy living in his own delusions, right? Ma Long just whispers quietly to Chen instead, telling him to stop holding back and show his true power later. Getting a D rank evaluation would be the perfect way to slap his smug face. But since hitting level 14, Chen doesn't even consider a basic D rank worth his time anymore. He just keeps those cocky thoughts completely to himself for now. By the time their room arrives, a huge crowd of students is already waiting there. Gongcheng's lackeys show up just a little bit behind them. Wherever those guys walk, they make sure to show off their absolute arrogance. Most of the students are completely terrified of them, wanting absolutely zero trouble, so they naturally back away. But the second they lock eyes with Chen, remembering yesterday's brutal beatdown, they instantly bow 90 degrees in pure respect. Boss Chen, you've arrived. Xiangzuo looks at Xiangyu, and Xiangyu stares back at Chen. Even in their absolute wildest dreams, neither of them could have ever imagined this. Gongcheng's guys, who always used to bully Chen mercilessly, are now trembling in absolute fear of him. Meanwhile, Ma Long is feeling incredibly smug, grinning from ear to ear like a total fool. I totally told you so earlier. And that's where we leave it. Our main guy Chen doesn't even care, just turns and walks right away. Stick with me, our guy couldn't even take 3 steps before getting totally blocked. I heard someone picked a fight with Gongcheng yesterday. Was it him? Don't you know he's the actual biological brother of Gongding, our completely untouchable student council president? The guy blocking Chen is Jiang Di, a D-rank council officer with a nasty reputation. Hangzuo's crew is standing way back, completely unable to hear their intense conversation. They only get the feeling that Jiang Di crossing paths with Chen like this is totally weird. But as the seconds tick by, the atmosphere turns incredibly heavy. Jiang Di's killing intent is absolutely suffocating. He leans into Chen's ear, whispering his threat. He says his sense of smell is elite, sniffing out only truly powerful people. But from your body? I only smell the pathetic stench of a rat living at the very bottom. Chen doesn't even flinch. He just calmly replies, "You are a dog." That instantly breaks his ego, making him scream out, "What did you just say?" Now watch closely. Before the brawl starts, a voice booms out, "Jiang Di. Stop. It's Gongding stepping in. I already looked into this whole mess. Gongcheng is totally the one at fault for starting this." He firmly warns, making mistakes means paying the price. Jiang Di instantly backs down. "Yes, President." At this moment, Gongding shoots a sharp look, testing his reaction. But Chen holds his ground perfectly. His eyes hold an unpredictable mystery. Suddenly, Gongding summons a massive portal. He projects his voice loudly, "Attention everyone, the official rank test is starting. We will proceed strictly by your ID numbers. Once your name is called, step up to the stage quietly." Gongding lets out a sigh and calls Jiang Di over. "Let's go prepare the test." He immediately sprints after him, beaming with pride. Understood. After thinking it over, he concludes that Chen isn't a real threat. Way up high, in a nearby building, Ling Yu is watching the whole test unfold. This strange behavior makes him question her. Why are you so interested in watching a basic test today? Did you find someone worth watching? Ling Yu simply flashes a mysterious smile, eyes gleaming with excitement. You and I both know this test will be wild. Then the announcer shouts next, Hang Zuo. The second he steps up there, the crowd goes absolutely crazy. Let's go, Hang Zuo. He reaches toward the glowing portal, super hyped. Time to show my true legendary power. He takes big, confident strides toward the mysterious device sitting inside. In a flash, Hang Zuo crosses over into a whole different dimension. Testing ranks requires an isolated space inside a custom-built magic cave. Inside the cave sits a giant magic core built to absorb energy. Hang Zuo charges up a massive magic orb, ready to blast the core. The awakened must release every drop of power into that core. That magical orb smashes directly into the core, triggering a massive explosion. The core absorbs the hit and sends the data outside through thick cables. The gateway clearly displays the sheer volume of his raw magic energy. Finally, the raw power converts into cold, hard numbers on screen. So what do you and I see on screen? E rank. Wild, right? Mid-stage recorded perfectly. Wait, is that other stat still not measured? Down below, Ma Long is glued to the test. Stick with me here, we're about to see the most important part of this whole assessment. Because besides current rank, this machine actually measures one completely different stat. It calculates the absolute highest potential rank a specific class could ever reach in the future. The screen instantly flashes with Xiang Zuo's final testing results. Anyone with sky-high potential is practically guaranteed to grab the nation's absolute full attention. The system's voice rings out, test complete. His current status is E rank, mid-stage, with a max potential of C. But Xiang Zuo looks completely crushed by this. Turns out his rank hasn't moved an inch in 2 whole years. He honestly thought he'd jump straight to D rank today. Right on cue, the system chimes again, calling the next person up for testing. Meanwhile, Ma Long is busy trying to cheer his bro up. Hey, just relax a bit, Xiang Zuo. We did way worse than you. Those two also got terrible scores, but they're forcing smiles just to make him feel a little better. You're definitely not the only guy who missed D rank today. We missed it too. This academy doesn't just hand out D ranks like candy. Heck, there might not even be a single one this year. Just then, an announcement echoes out that leaves them all completely stunned. Test complete. Current rank is officially lower stage D rank. Max potential is B rank. She absolutely cannot hide her massive excitement. She literally skips all the way out of there. You feel that shift, right? The first D rank just dropped. A little while later, Jiang Di strides out looking insanely arrogant. Test complete. Current rank is lower D, with a max potential of A. This crazy result just makes the average guys feel even more depressed. That is already the 8th D rank today. Even the 2 pro examiners are completely shocked by this session. Showing up with this many D-rank talents in one single year is wild. Sure, they're all lower stage, but for students with 0 real combat experience, that's incredibly rare. Absolutely right. Normally, in an entire graduating class, you'd see 2 or 3 kids hit D rank at most. Following this crazy trend, this year's final exam is going to be absolutely epic to watch. Right then, someone slowly walks forward as the system calls the next person up for testing. He smoothly adjusts his tie. Stepping up, looking radiating with pure, absolute confidence, it's Gongting. Now pay close attention here, because everyone is holding their breath for this guy. It is finally his turn. The legendary student council president himself. He's also the young master of the Imperial Guild, an absolute heaven-chosen genius holding countless crazy titles. Even Chen unconsciously turns to watch him. The excited whispers about Gongting just keep echoing all around the room. Rumor has it that during the test 2 years ago, he already hit D rank. The highest rank officially measured in this class so far is lower stage D rank. And the highest rank in our school's entire history is only mid-stage D rank. Who knows what insane level he's at now. Inside the room, the magic heart is quietly waiting for the next challenger to step up. It slowly opens its eyes, completely ready to absorb whatever attacks come its way. As Gongting steps inside, he walks right up to it and slowly extends his hand. He looks incredibly calm, his eyes ice cold, like he's about to unleash a devastating signature move. But he thinks unleashing his full power during the combat exam is the only way to cause the biggest possible shockwave. So for now, he actually has to hold back some of his strength. Gongting's pupils go wide. The guy has always been insanely arrogant and ambitious. But even holding back, he knows he'll still be number 1 in academy history. And trust me, what happens next? Alright, you and I are about to see a ranking that makes even the testing professor sweat nervously. What is that crazy color? Suddenly, the display board flashes a completely unexpected and shocking result. Upper tier D rank, with S-class potential. The whole crowd absolutely loses it, gasping out loud at this crazy score. Upper tier D rank, plus peak S-class potential. Incredible. Everyone starts cheering with pure admiration for him. He is the first in school history. That is our president. Long live the president. The crowd goes absolutely wild right there. Meanwhile, Chen stays completely calm. Our academy finally produced an S-class potential awakener. We are literally witnessing history being made right now. After running the test multiple times, the officials still look incredibly tense. The result is real. Upper D rank, S-class potential. Should we report this directly to the top? Absolutely. The other students quickly rush over, escorting Gong Ting while cheering like crazy. An awakener with S-class potential is basically a super rare treasure globally. Naturally, the government will highly protect him, especially since he is also a young master from the Imperial Guild. That is massive. Now watch closely here, because his ego is spiking. A satisfied smirk flashes across his face as national news coverage is guaranteed. Gong Ting, rank evaluation results are in. Upper tier D rank, S-class potential. Yuan Long watches everything from high above, totally amazed by the scene. The testing this year is dropping crazy talents left and right. He turns his voice toward Ling Yu, teasing her a bit. You already knew Gong Ting had S-class potential from the start, right? No wonder you showed up to watch the drama today. She simply lowers her eyes and replies softly. That is not it. I am actually not here for him. Ling Yu lowers her voice slightly. Her gaze is locked entirely on one direction. Because compared to Gong Ting in the crowd, Chen and his completely calm demeanor make it impossible to look away. I know what you are thinking, but honestly, I am expecting way more from him. He stays calm walking up, looking slightly tired. The next student up for the rank evaluation is Chen. As Chen walks past, Jiang Di does not hesitate to throw a taunt. Hey, little punk, try to save at least a tiny bit of face for your pathetic dorm. He shows zero restraint, laughing right in Chen's face with absolute disrespect. Do not end up testing out as a lower tier E rank later. By then, all 4 of you lower tier E rank losers will be huddled up together. You guys will be the absolute biggest joke in the whole academy. Jiang Di assumes that he will get the exact same trash results. You are just garbage like them. When the final graduation combat exam comes, you will just be a total laughingstock. Seeing Chen get mocked, he instantly speaks up defending him. You just wait. As he steps into the gate, Ma Long yells, Chen is definitely going to open your eyes. Xiang Zuo also subconsciously shoots a glance in his direction. Chen. But deep down, a heavy wave of unease washes over him as he walks in. Does this guy actually have what it takes? The moment Chen appears, Mo Xin clearly looks stunned right away because his pupils are burning incredibly bright, completely different from every single other person here. Because in this era, if an awakener wants any real chance to grow strong, the only way is to join a top-tier elite guild. And the one single chance for most people to show their strength to these top guilds is the final graduation combat exam. The exam has some very clear and strict rules. The final graduation combat exam. Maximum of 10 people per squad, and candidates can freely choose their own team members. So trust me, you are going to want to see what happens to the winning team, getting scouted by the absolute best Imperial Guild in the entire country. So stick with me here. This test doesn't just figure out everyone's rank, it sets up something way more important. Jiang Di throws an arm around Yan Lin and flexes hard. Boss, meet Yan Lin lower D rank. He looks insanely smug checking out their current team lineup. So our 10-man squad is totally packed. All 9 D rank students from this entire class are with us. Once we add your little brother Gong Cheng, our squad is easily taking first place in the combat exam. This whole thing is basically picking teammates for the big graduation battle. So in this ruthless setup, the absolute strongest team naturally rises up. Jiang Di just keeps hyping up Gong Ting. The most valuable player trophy is yours, boss. And totally forces the weakest squad, the strong team up, while the weak get tossed out. It's just the ultimate, brutal rule of survival here. Ma Long is losing his patience. How long has Chen been in there? The system board stays dead quiet, making Ma Long super anxious. Why zero activity? Now pay attention. The others just sneer, thinking Chen is way too weak to even get a single rank. The test is basically over already. Let's just go. Time to head back to the dorms. Seeing Gongting actually waiting for Chen, Jiangdi barks out. Those leftover nobodies are definitely pure trash. Seriously, don't even wait for them. Our main squad is totally packed anyway. Let's just go find a karaoke spot instead. Hearing that, Gongting forces a sigh and just agrees. Yeah, call the other members to go. But right at that second, the massive notice board starts flashing Chen's rank numbers. When the crazy result finally pops up, literally everyone stares. Their brains just stop working. Everyone stands there completely frozen for a second before the whole place erupts into cheers. Upper D rank. Look at that. What did I freaking tell you guys? I'm never wrong. Even Gongting and Jiangdi look completely, absolutely dumbfounded. Wait, what? An upper D rank? Seriously? Inside the chamber, the magic core is literally terrified of Chen's aura. Current test result shows upper D rank. The monitoring system detects the magic core going highly unstable. Warning results might be totally skewed. Candidate is heavily advised to retest. Staring intensely at the glowing info board, he silently schemes. He literally just used his base physical body without even switching classes. So his raw level 10 base strength already equals an upper D rank. Suddenly, the system chimes in. Class change is now initiating. In seconds, Chen transforms into something way more terrifying. Class switch fully complete. He tests his weakest class next. I know what you're thinking, this is exactly where the crowd watching outside completely loses it. As the massive board tallies his new score, the final result drops like an absolute bomb. Mid-C rank. The entire room gets hit with another massive shockwave. What the heck? Chen's crazy rank just spiked again. Jiangdi turns completely pale, while Gongting's eyes practically bulge out of his absolute skull. C rank? You gotta be kidding. Even the elite professors are sweating, thinking the machine is broken. Why did his insane rank change again? Is the internal system glitching? Deep inside the chamber, that magic core is projecting pure, unfiltered terror. Red alert. The system detects critical core instability, meaning these wild results could be entirely skewed. It begs him to retest. Trust me, you'll absolutely want to see what happens next. Chen immediately launches another powerful strike. Stick with me, we are about to see both his hidden classes hit above C rank. While he switches classes, raw magic energy swirls around his body as those system notifications just keep loudly ringing. The class change is finally complete. He quickly runs the numbers in his head time to test out his absolute strongest ability right here. A brand new stat panel flashes right in front of him. Seeing his own power levels makes his eyes go wide with pure, absolute shock. He can't even believe it. Seconds later, a massive explosion rips through the area, kicking up a heavy cloud of blinding smoke. Wild tornadoes and crashing lightning suddenly tear across the sky. The other students are totally freaking out right now. What on earth is going on? Xiang Yu literally folds his hands, praying for his life. An insane natural anomaly. Today is definitely going down in the history books. Looks like our dorm room just birthed an earth-shattering legend who is going to change the world. Watch closely, you and I are about to witness the impossible as an S-rank icon slowly appears on the running system, fully matching his insane power. Their jaws instantly drop to the floor, like they saw a ghost. Another S potential rating. Gongting hasn't said a single word this entire time, but his face is full of pure terror as that crazy high rank slowly materializes. Piercing alarm starts screaming a warning. That S rank symbol is struggling so hard to display itself. A massive system error warning. But there isn't just one S on that panel. The system completely crashes, announcing it cannot calculate his true potential value because it totally exceeded the maximum load limit. Jiangdi is completely shocked and utterly speechless. He literally cannot comprehend what is happening right now. Crazy red lightning and electrical explosions just keep popping off. In a panic, the two professors try desperately to pull Chen out. This is bad, it looks like the magic core is completely overloading. Get in there fast, we can't let our student get hurt. They desperately sprint right inside the smoke to look for him. Hey student, are you okay? But there's actually something that terrifies them way more than the explosion outside. The magic core is lying completely shriveled up on the ground. It died. While the professors are busy checking its condition, Chen smoothly glides right past them. I know what you're thinking, did he really use it for too long today? He is definitely starting to realize how serious this problem really is. He accidentally used way too much force, causing the magic core to completely break and die. But he got a completely unexpected reward. The system loudly chimes in assimilation complete. Done. His gluttony skill actually managed to absorb and assimilate the magic core's power. Chen confidently strides out of the blast zone, shrugging off the massive explosion like it was absolutely nothing. His eyes flash brightly as he activates his new skill, Exquisite Magic Core engaged. While the other students stare in total shock, Chen just calmly steps out. So now I can easily see everyone's power rank. That is incredibly convenient. His sharp gaze sweeps the crowd and immediately locks onto one specific target. He stares directly at Gongting's massive magic energy. Turns out this guy was also hiding his true strength. Mid-C rank is honestly pretty basic. Right after that, the two professors step outside holding the totally dried up magic core. What a shame. The core suffered fatal burnout from too much power drain. We are going to have to pause today's testing right here. Then they quickly make an announcement, telling all the testing students to disperse. Chen's test data from just now might be totally wrong, so we will report this glitch to our superiors. As for the students who haven't been tested yet, you can all return tomorrow morning. They'll prep new gear tomorrow. And that's where we leave it, trust me. You'll want to see what his cheering squad does next. That guy? I absolutely do not care. Let's dive right in. The data is flawless, and our guy Chen is a certified genius. His buddy rubs his shoulders, asking what the legend wants to eat today. But Chen just gives a super lazy, bored reply. Let's just head back to the dorms. Right on cue, Jiangdi steps up, tossing out a bold challenge. I told you from the start. How could absolute trash like you ever reach C rank? Not to mention claiming S rank potential. The testing machine is clearly busted. He just couldn't hold back his absolute disgust, yelling, "You shattered the magic core and now you're running away? Isn't that just completely irresponsible of you?" Making the rest of us student council members wait until tomorrow for our own tests. Can you even pay for this delay? Chen is losing his patience, slowly gathering raw magic in his hand. A dark thought crosses his mind. This loudmouth is so annoying, maybe I should just completely cripple him right now. But right then, Gongting steps up to break the tension. Jiangdi, back down. Do not ever disrespect our teammate like that. Those exact words leave Jiangdi looking completely and utterly bewildered. Now watch closely. He reaches out his hand and drops a massive offer. Join my squad. Let's crush the graduation combat exam together. The highest score in school history? That will absolutely belong to us. Gongting stands there, waiting for his answer, while Chen's eyes narrow with intense, calculated scrutiny. To Chen, this entire wild scene leaves absolutely everyone in the room staring in total disbelief. Gongting himself actually just offered Chen a spot on his elite team. Jiangdi's pupils completely dilate, shaking with pure panic and insecurity. If that guy joins, someone is getting kicked out. How the hell am I supposed to explain this to my bros? Joining Gongting's squad basically guarantees taking first place in the final graduation exam. Glaring back at Chen, he absolutely refuses to let this trash join the ranks. People throw massive bribes and still get rejected. What right does this nobody even have? Right now, Jiangdi's furiously trembling hands lightly brush against him, but Gongting already gave his word. Jiangdi's face is twisting with forced, bitter acceptance. I have to show respect here. If that's the case, welcome to our elite team. You saw that coming, right? Chen just ruthlessly swats his hand away with one brutal reply. Zero interest. That rejection sends Jiangdi spiraling into even deeper panic. Meanwhile, Gongting's eyes instantly sharpen, flashing with a rare hint of genuine surprise. Jiangdi totally loses it, screaming out loud. Do you even realize what you are saying? Our team is the absolute strongest in this school. But Chen stays perfectly ice cold. Has nothing to do with me. He suddenly unleashes an intense aura that suffocates everyone around. You are way too loud. Do not ever bother me again. Leaving Jiangdi frozen in place, so absolutely furious he could breathe fire. You bastard. Watching this crazy scene unfold, the crowd goes totally wild. Chen actually rejected Gongting. He has serious guts. That guy is the literal student council president. They just cannot wrap their heads around his insane move. Chen must want to snatch first place all by himself, right? But hey, trust me on this, with his mid-tier C rank result, you and I are absolutely guaranteed to witness one incredibly epic show. Over on the side, Ma Long and Han Zuo are eating this up, completely entertained. Did you catch the look on those two faces? Pure humiliation. They were acting so incredibly cocky towards us earlier. Chen really has some massive nerves. But surprisingly, Gongting isn't furious at all. He actually looks pretty understanding. It is totally fine. Looks like our brother Chen here has his very own master plan. Once the testing finally wraps up that day, all the students just go back to their regular business, while Yuan Long lets out a heavy, disappointed sigh of pure regret. Alright, let's dive right into the madness. It is a huge shame those two could not team up, as I really wanted a new academy record this year. Meanwhile, Lin Vu has not taken her eyes off Tutran for a single second. But honestly, doesn't this make things way more exciting? It totally seems like she completely understands exactly what he is feeling right now. Kung Din was literally born with a silver spoon, so getting rejected like this? To him, it is basically a completely blatant declaration of war. Lin Vu's voice is absolutely dripping with eager anticipation too. Our beloved guild president is definitely not an easy guy to deal with. At this moment, Kwang Dich still shows absolutely zero respect, thinking Tutran only stood out because the testing machine was broken. Does he actually believe he is a real S rank? Complete joke. But Kung Din shuts him down instantly. What if the machine was not actually wrong? Even if there is just a 1 in a billion chance, I will never let anyone steal my #1 spot, ever. Hearing that, he just keeps muttering under his breath in pure anger. No matter how you look at it, he is just a student with zero real combat experience. Meanwhile, we have secretly followed you into the monster lairs and fought real battles multiple times. How about I go teach him a brutal lesson? Now watch closely, because his next words make Kwang Dich panic completely. In your eyes, am I really that kind of petty person? He quickly tries to defend himself. No, I just misspoke. Then he just turns his back and walks away. I am not in the mood for karaoke today, so you guys figure it out yourselves. Before leaving, he drops a cold warning. Whatever you decide to do has absolutely nothing to do with me. Hearing this, Kwang Dich freezes for a split second, then immediately flashes a super creepy smile as he catches the hidden meaning. Understood, it does not involve you. 10 minutes later, he calls out a lower lackey to ask about Tutran. You are saying Tutran already left the academy? The guy nods his head super fast. Yes, Boss Kwang. I secretly overheard him saying he had to head back home. He left the campus before even eating his meal. These words make Kwang Dich feel absolutely thrilled with the situation. The heavens are definitely helping me, he thinks, finding it hilarious. Being outside the academy makes it way easier to strike. At that exact same time, Tutran walks out the gate humming, looking completely unguarded and relaxed. The total silence outside causes those old memories to slowly start bubbling up. They never actually faded from his mind at all. You and I both love a good past life reveal, right? A top guild team faced disaster clearing a Thanha territory lair. Deep inside that dungeon, they encountered a terrifying demon that had never appeared before. A massive flash of light erupted, trying to drown everything in pure wrath, born in a completely unexpected and shocking way. That entire top-tier guild team was completely wiped out. From then on, Wrath stepped out of the lair and descended upon the human world. That is all the information I currently know. Snapping back to reality now, Tutran is totally determined this time to quickly pinpoint the exact location of the lair where Wrath is currently hiding. I have already created a master plan, but kicking off this massive plan requires a seriously huge amount of money. Very soon after, he stands in front of a giant building. This is the Bayangan Monster Exchange, run directly by the Bayangan Guild, which will eventually become the absolute biggest materials trading hub in the entire country. Tutran takes a careful look around and starts calculating his moves. The weapons and gear in an awakened fighter's hands are the absolute key factors deciding their real power. So what do you and I expect? This monster exchange is the mandatory stop for trading gear. Alright, stick with me here. He lays out some fossils to trade, the absolute fastest way to make cash. The appraiser stares at them, totally suspicious. Where did a mere student manage to get his hands on these? Chen honestly explains they dropped from a monster, which honestly just confuses the guy even more. Why haven't I seen this before? Just then, Xiaoli speaks up from the side. If I remember correctly, this is a drop from an E-rank cloud beast, the Tang Sen. Tang Sen Fangs. Xiaoli quickly searches through her memory bank. Records say Tang Sen Fangs can be forged into an E-rank cloud attribute staff, or ground into powder. But the appraiser immediately brushes her off. Stop giving a history lesson. What kind of waves can trash E-rank gear even make? He acts super arrogant, completely looking down on Chen and the items he brought in. Our trading floor only deals with elite clients who have VIP status. Everything I handle is D rank or higher, so me not recognizing E rank garbage is completely normal. But inwardly, he is panicking. High-end clients are rare lately, and at this slow pace. When will I ever become manager? He glares at Chen. He curses under his breath. So unlucky, always dealing with these annoying kids. There is zero profit here anyway, might as well dump this on the newbie. Without missing a beat, he shoves all the hosting duties right onto her. Hey Xiaoli, I am leaving the rest of the paperwork to you. Do well. I have high hopes for you. She immediately bows. Yes sir. Shortly after, she successfully helps Chen complete the entire transaction. Here is your money sir, please check it over. Do you need help with anything else? He stares at the cash and calculates. 18,000, just enough for rent. Then Chen pulls out one more item. Now watch this part. He hands it over, making a request. Take a look at this. She cannot even hide her shock at the item. This massive sword, the longer she stares, the more absolutely stunned she becomes. I have never seen it, but I feel like it is at least B rank. No wait, maybe even A rank. Even the arrogant appraiser cannot resist stepping up to look. A rank? Are you out of your mind? Market price for A rank is 1 million minimum. I have worked here for years and never seen one. Then Qingji steps up. You are right. This thing is definitely not B rank or A rank. The second he spots Qingji, he flashes a super fake kissing up smile. You have a great eye, boss. Like I said, where would a broke student get good gear? He pushes up his glasses. You and I can tell right away this is pure purgatory equipment. Gear that leaves both of them completely speechless. S rank. Then Qingji initiates the trade. He acts incredibly enthusiastic toward this guest. Welcome, esteemed customer, to our humble establishment. Then he personally escorts Chen inside. Please follow me to the VIP lounge. If you have any requests, just ask me. A spark instantly flashes in his eyes. He finally showed up. Chen looks at him like he struck gold. Qingji. They enter the trading room. Xiaoli pours a cup of hot tea and asks, Excuse me, sir, how will you handle this gear? Chen bluntly asks for 1 million. Making Qingji a bit surprised. Just 1 million? He quickly explains it to him. Do you know? A rank goes for 1 million. Trust me, an S rank is worth at least tens of millions. Stick with me here, we are about to watch a priceless item cause chaos, but Chen cuts them off completely. I want to use this S rank weapon as pure collateral to borrow 1 million cash. To be paid back in exactly 1 month. Thontree seriously cannot believe his own ears. Using an ultra-rare S-rank weapon just to take out a quick loan? Is this seriously the master plan of a regular college kid? But the broker quickly figures it out. This guy has absolutely zero intention of selling it, he is saving it for later. With a sharp mind way beyond his age, just casually bringing out such an incredibly precious treasure. Is he some runaway rich heir from a massive guild? Or maybe a completely hidden super genius? Whatever the truth is, this kid's background is absolutely off the charts. Worried that Thontree might suddenly change his mind, Chen adds more heat. Give me exactly 1 month, and I will pay back the principal. Plus a 10% interest rate on top of that, deal? Before even answering the offer, he lowers his voice. Xiaoli, step outside for a minute. Now pay attention here. The room empties out, and Thontree drops an absolute bombshell. He figured out Tuchan's real identity insanely fast. You are currently studying at the prestigious National Awakener University, and you are a 4th-year senior about to graduate. Thantree's confident voice echoes through the silent VIP room. From what I know, the National Awakener University holds a brutal practical graduation exam every single year, and this year, the exam timing happens to be exactly 1 month away, and the grand prize for taking first place is exactly 1 million. It is a flawless match with your deadline and the exact repayment amount. His eyes light up with pure, unhidden excitement. I am going to boldly guess. Hearing this, Cen's expression shifts into something incredibly dangerous. You are already 100% certain that you will secure first place in the upcoming exam. Thontree slowly stands up from his desk and continues. You could obviously wait a month for the prize money, yet you are rushing to mortgage this. Putting up a priceless artifact just to get a loan proves you desperately need cash right now. Honestly, you must be totally out of options to pull a crazy stunt like this. Finally, his tone softens up. If that is the case, Thontree aggressively seals the deal. I can instantly hand you 1.5 million in pure cash. 1 full month, Absolutely zero interest. Then he reaches his hand out. Consider it an investment in making a powerful friend. This unexpected move leaves Tutran slightly stunned. Seeing his reaction, Thon Tree shoots him a quick wink and firmly promises, "Rest assured, whatever happened here today stays completely off the record. But if you ever need to make another trade in the future, please prioritize doing business with us. I will personally guarantee you the absolute best deals around." The corner of Tutran's mouth curls up in sheer amusement. With barely any clues, the guy completely read his identity and his ultimate goal. Seriously, incredibly smart. He understood the desperate situation perfectly but never tried to lowball him. Instead, he threw out a way better offer just to secure a long-term partnership. Totally lives up to the name Thon Tree. Can you believe this guy? He is the very legend who will build the world's absolute #1 trading exchange. Without hesitation, he reaches out and shakes Thon Tree's hand. Taking down the monster known as Wrath is impossible to do completely alone. Tutran knows deep down he can trust this guy, and building a network of reliable allies is exactly what he needs right now. After finalizing their chat, Tutran casually places his hand directly onto a glowing magic circle. Thon Tree flashes a massive glowing smile and announces, "The magical binding contract is fully complete. The funds are already in your account." But then, he just cannot hold back his burning curiosity. "By the way, since you just pawned off such an insanely overpowered weapon like that, what exactly are you planning to use for your graduation exam? Do you need me to loan you some gear?" Thon Tree quickly starts pitching the VIP services available. "Unfortunately, we do not have any S-rank equipment in stock right now. So what do you and I take from this?" Even with A-rank gear offered, Tutran simply cuts him off and declines. "Let us dive back in." While they just stare at him in pure shock, he pulls out another sword. "I actually have another weapon, just like the last one." That totally drops their jaws to the floor. They finally bid Chen goodbye, their eyes practically glowing with greed and excitement over this kid. A true young hero in the making. "Take care, valued customer." Right after that, Qingji makes a very satisfied, happy announcement. Since Xiaoli managed to keep this VIP, she gets instantly promoted to manager on the spot. Before leaving, he suddenly remembers something important. "Oh right," Chen says with a super soft voice. "I need to buy one more thing." Scene cuts to the Shang County bus station. Old memories start flashing through his mind. In his past life, money problems kept them completely trapped in absolute misery for a long time. Back then, he just graduated. 0 powers awakened yet. Rejected by every guild, Chen muttered to himself while running delivery jobs. It is almost overdue. He worked himself to the bone doing odd jobs just to barely cover rent. With a bank balance of exactly 105.64, Chen and Xiao Yun were forced to live the most harsh, painful life imaginable. He let out a long, deeply exhausted sigh. Paid rent, broke again. Xiao Yun patted his shoulder to comfort him right away. "Do not worry, brother, I already found a tutoring job." Now, pay close attention here. When Xiao Yun's Dream Art Academy acceptance letter finally arrived, she just quietly ripped it into tiny shreds. "I actually passed the exam?" Then Xiao Yun made excuses to avoid enrolling. "But that school is too far. I just want to stay with you forever." Terrified of being a burden, his little sister literally gave up on her biggest lifelong dream. Snapping back to reality, Chen looks around in a total panic. It is getting late. Xiao Yun should have been out of the bus station a long time ago. Just then, a loud voice calls out, totally startling him. "Brother!" She is not even in sight yet, but Xiao Yun's voice echoes out. "Brother, how many times have I told you? You wait at the exit, not the entrance." She complains while dragging her heavy suitcase along. "Are you working yourself crazy again?" His pupils blow wide open the second he actually sees her. 7 whole years. Seeing Chen still standing there completely frozen, Xiao Yun speaks up. "Hey brother, are you not going to help with my bags?" She steps up and waves her hand in his face to break the spell. "What is wrong? Why are you frozen?" "You and I definitely felt this one." Chen suddenly pulls Xiao Yun into a massive hug, leaving her eyes wide with shock. He missed her so incredibly much. 7 long years. "I finally get to see you again, Xiao Yun." As Chen holds on tight, she desperately wiggles around. "Brother, I cannot take this anymore." Xiao Yun pokes his armpit hard and yells, "Are you trying to crush me to death?" Then she casually chucks her luggage right at him. "You are acting so incredibly weird lately. Did you confess to someone and get dumped?" Chen quickly denies the whole thing. "No way. This just makes his sister even more confused. Well then hurry up, let us go home. On the walk home, Xiao Yun simply cannot stop chattering about everything. Oh right, the trip to my exam was absolutely hilarious. Let me tell you about it. Watching her carefree smile, Chen promises himself this time around, his absolute dedication is all for her. I will absolutely never let you suffer through any kind of pain ever again. Right at that moment, Jiang Di sends his goons to block Chen. This is the exact path that Chen guy has to take. He carefully orders them, stay in ambush. The second he shows his face, attack him instantly. So what do you and I think happens next? Jiang Di looks totally insane. I want him to taste the consequences of provoking me. By now, the henchmen are starting to feel extremely uneasy, especially with director Jiang Di. Alright, you and I are about to watch this get messy. With the student council here, won't a heavy beating cause huge trouble? But Jiang Di refuses to change his mind. He originally just wanted to teach this guy a tiny little lesson, but that kid's arrogant attitude was just way too much of an eyesore. Those bottom feeder E ranks actually think they are C rank hotshots, daring to climb right over my head like they own the place. Chen's arrogant words are still completely burned into this guy's angry mind. You're too loud, stop bothering me. Then Jiang Di gives his gang their strict orders. So later on, you guys beat him until he's half dead. I'm going to completely cripple him. I'm making absolutely sure he completely misses the final graduation exam in exactly 2 weeks. Plus, he is super confident in his own skills. He is literally a top-tier cloud attribute assassin in the making. Unmatched in the entire school. Just you wait, you annoying little show-off. Now watch closely. Chen and Yun walk home together, but suddenly she feels a bit suspicious about his vibe. Brother, you've been acting super weird these past 2 days. Is this all because of the graduation exam pressure weighing you down? But Yun quickly mutters, basically answering her own question. Anyway, a clueless guy like him wouldn't get tangled in deep emotions easily. After thinking that, she loudly cheers her older brother on to lift his spirits. No matter what, you have to cheer up. Didn't you once tell me that life is an incredibly long journey ahead? Opportunities will definitely come soon. Walking along, she quietly hums to remember a really catchy song melody. How does that song go again? Believe in yourself. Seeing this wholesome moment, Chen feels totally warmed inside. Little Yun's mind is so sharp. Just meeting him, she instantly noticed the subtle difference in his aura. Right now, she still doesn't know her brother awakened, so she is constantly just thinking. They're still living that same frugal life as before. Thinking quickly, he plays along. He jumps right into character. I am really fine, little Yun. This obvious act surprises Yun even more. Still acting tough right now. Is it just to protect his fragile male ego? Then she wildly shakes her head, totally rejecting her own theory. Guys start building massive emotional walls around themselves once they hit a certain specific age in their lives. The books were actually right all along. Looks like her older brother finally reached that age. Meanwhile, some shady guy is secretly stalking them from the shadows right behind. He quickly signals to Jiang Di. Boss, that annoying punk actually has a little sister walking right next to him. You saw this coming, right? Hearing this, Jiang Di laughs, thinking it is absolutely perfect. This alley has 0 cameras, so the boys are really in for a massive treat. But it seems Chen has already noticed their little ambush waiting in the dark. This aura. He instantly figures out that this trash mob is the pathetic student council. Chen gets super annoyed by their absolute madness, actually daring to track him all the way here. Real quick, Chen pulls out his headphones and gently places them right over Yun's ears. Chen figured out a genius way to distract her. Little Yun, I have a song I really love listening to. I've had it on repeat lately, so you should take a quick listen. Since when do you like music? Yun closes her eyes, feeling the gentle beat. Pretty good stuff. Music can truly express a person's absolute deepest state of mind. Glancing at Chen, she quietly whispers to herself. Then let me understand you a bit better, brother. Meanwhile, he shifts straight into battle stance, scanning their power levels one by one to decide his exact hit list and attack order. Yun keeps her eyes closed. Enjoying the epic track Chen played for her. What exact color reflects a bird's shadow? At the exact same time, he steps up to face off against these arrogant fools. The sky shatters with the fading echoes of a final goodbye. A time-worn calendar is humanity's absolute final proof of civilization. Facing them, Chen tightly clenches his fists. Here's what you and I must remember. Old memories flash. In his past life, back in 2160, he lost his very last family member. Stick with me, you are about to watch him get reborn in 2167, finally reuniting with his little sister. Massive magic power surges completely around Tu Tran. For the very first time in 7 long years, he is finally back together with his family. He charges straight at them, completely blinded by rage. How dare these absolute trash mobs come here and mess around? Every single strike from Tu Tran is so ruthless and decisive that they literally cannot even react. The backup guys instantly turn pale, watching their elite squad get wiped out this easily. Meanwhile, Tu Van just listens to her music, ignoring the chaos. Abandoned junk around them suddenly transforms into strange specimens. The crumbling city ruins visually shift into vibrant green mountain peaks. And that playing melody? It directly pumps explosive raw strength into Tu Tran. No one is playing games anymore. Now, it is just pure unfiltered anger and violent retribution. As he dashes forward with an absolutely unbelievable speed, the enemy instantly and completely panics. He takes down every single one of them in a totally clean and elegant sweep. Now watch closely here. One idiot rushes in, and Tu Tran just hands him a brutal kick. Hoping he is distracted, another guy lunges. A flash of power streaks past them like a bright shooting star across a burning galaxy. But Tu Tran instantly catches the guy's arm in an iron grip. He stretches out his arm and slams his elbow down hard, violently shattering the enemy's bones. The background music keeps looping, finally trading the silence for some heavy-hitting sound effects. The thug can only scream out in pure agony, but his hands definitely do not stop there. He eats another massive punch straight from Tu Tran, sending him flying completely off his feet. Then comes the rest of them. He will do absolutely whatever it takes right now to protect that fragile star. Right now, Kwang Dich is entirely terrified. Oh my god, what on earth is wrong with this kid? He literally cannot believe his own 2 eyes. How is he this insanely strong? Meanwhile, Tu Tran just keeps attacking like an absolute madman. With every single passing second, his heavy hits are only getting stronger. While Kwang Dich is watching, Tu Tran suddenly locks on and dashes straight toward him. I know what you were thinking. Bragging about being a peak cloud assassin? Completely useless. Before he can even finish talking, Tu Tran strikes. Damn it, you really think I cannot defeat you in a fight? Not giving him a second to speak, he throws a solid punch and kicks him miles away. Without stopping for a breath, Tu Tran keeps raining down blows until his face is completely wrecked. Following up the combo, Tu Tran decisively unleashes yet another devastating bare-knuckle punch. He scrapes violently against the rough concrete, goes flying backward, and completely faceplants into the dirt. When Kwang Dich finally opens his eyes, a dark shadow is standing right over him. The figure with glowing red eyes slowly walks closer. It is Tu Tran, and he brings a lethal threat. I clearly told you not to ever piss me off. The pure rage burning inside his eyes right now is beyond terrifying. Do you not understand human words? Kwang Dich is literally sobbing tears down his face. Fresh blood pools on the ground. He panics, realizing every single one of his ribs is broken. Both of his legs are totally numb. The test results were real. Tu Tran is definitely not just some trash D rank. His bloody mouth stammers out a pathetic apology. But Tu Tran is ice cold, holding a sharp blade directly to his face. Shut your mouth. Make one more sound and I will end you. This ruthless action makes Kwang Dich spiral into complete and total panic. Tears stream endlessly from the corners of his eyes. That killing intent is not a lie. He will actually kill him. Trust me, Tu Tran has become more terrifying than anything else in the world right now. He is supposed to be just a college student, so why is his aura this heavy? What in the world did he go through? Meanwhile, Tu Tran takes his time, furrowing his brows, and simply speaks. The words I say next, word for word, you better carve them deep into your memory. All right, let's dive in. His voice drops, turning razor sharp and absolutely freezing cold. You piece of trash can rot in hell for all I care, just stay away from me. If you ever threaten my sister's safety, no. If you even dare to appear in her line of sight again. While speaking, Tu Tran purposely presses the cold blade right against Kwang Dich's lip until blood actually spills. A terrifying dark glint suddenly flashes deep inside his glowing eyes. His voice is pure ice. I will not hesitate to make you disappear from this world forever, got it? Meanwhile, that blade just keeps slicing into Kwang Dich's trembling lip. The bully cannot hold back anymore, and pathetic tears stream down his face. A moment later, Tu Tran slowly turns around and walks away, leaving a completely drained Kwang Dich collapsing weakly onto the ground. Scene shifts. A very familiar, emotional song starts playing in the background. Pay attention here. The lyrics sing about migrating birds and shifting skies. Tu Van sits there with a blank expression, looking incredibly lonely while those sad lyrics just keep echoing in the room. The song continues, talking about fading shadows and standing alone under the dawn. Tears well up in Tu Van's eyes as she thinks to herself, "Why does this song make me want to cry so much?" She bites her lip tightly and slowly lowers her head. It has only been a few days apart, but it feels like my brother has gone through so much pain. He is not alone at all. Haven't I always been right here by his side? Suddenly, Tu Van snaps her head back and quickly scolds him. "Brother, I really hate when you do this." But then, Tu Tron pulls out a small gift box, making her freeze completely for a few seconds. A brief moment passes. He speaks with an incredibly warm and loving tone. "Little Van, my gift to you." The second she sees it, her eyes go wide and her cheeks flush with pure shock. "You guys recognize this? It is a magic holographic pen, the absolute newest model from Dalage Group." She holds the small gift in her hands, completely confused and curious. "This costs over 10,000. Where did you get that kind of money?" Hearing this, Tu Tron looks at her with a deep sense of guilt. "In my past life, I couldn't protect you, nor could I save your precious dream." Meanwhile, Tu Van just keeps staring at the expensive pen, thinking hard. "Maybe you should return it. It is way too pricey, and I do not really need it." Opposite her, Tu Tron tightly grips his blood-stained hand hidden behind his back. In this life, looking right at her, he makes a silent promise to himself. "I will protect everything you love." Far away from the two of them, the beaten bullies lie weakly on the ground, groaning in pain. "Help. Call an ambulance right now." In another scene right now, the pen lands in the artist's hand, creating beautiful, glowing lines that curve like ocean waves. Tu Van looks super excited at the glowing fish she just drew. "This is amazing. I can actually draw holographic images right in midair." Right now, Tu Tran is completely focused on eating his noodles. As long as Little Van likes it, your fried egg noodles are still the absolute best. However, Tu Van is instantly pulled back to harsh reality, looking sad. "But brother, we still have to pay our rent. If you spend money like this," hearing her worry. Tu Tron does not look worried at all and simply answers, "I already paid this entire year's rent." His tone sounds a little awkward, with sweat slightly dripping down. He rubs his nose slightly. "I made some business cash with a friend. You and I both know he is totally lying." The words fade out. Tu Yoon stands there with her arms crossed, biting her lip. Her brother is absolutely terrible at lying. "Stick with me here. You and I know MCs can never hide their secrets forever." Her eyes narrow down, eyebrows arching high in suspicion. She stares right at the guy standing in front of her, thinking things over. It has been a really long time since she last saw him smile that genuinely. Unable to hold back anymore, she reaches out and gently taps Tu Chen right on the shoulder. Sitting closely next to her big brother, she finally speaks up in a slow tone. Basically, no matter what crazy stuff you are dealing with, just do not push yourself too hard. Tu Chen just gives a gentle nod. "Yeah." Boom. Scene change to the other guys. Gong Ting stands in front of a giant fish tank. Jiangdi got injured super badly this time. 60% of the bones in his body are completely crushed. One hand shoved in his pocket, he continues talking with an absolutely cold voice. Even the best healer in the entire world could not possibly make him recover fully in just a single month. Now pay attention here, this is where it gets wild. Who knew he actually tried fighting Tu Chen and got beaten into this absolutely pathetic state? Standing right nearby, Ling Yu casually lifts a teacup to his lips. Looks like he is definitely going to miss the graduation exam. Hearing that, Gong Ting slowly smirks, his eyes looking deeply in thought. "It is fine. My team just lost a piece of useless trash whose skills could not even match up to normal people." Right at that moment, an older man suddenly appears out of nowhere. That is Gong Huan. The awakened university recruitment director slowly chimes in. Tu Chen is causing trouble yet again. His deep voice echoes through the room at a perfectly calm pace. "I have personally confirmed the internal results from the previous rank testing session we had." Gong Huan focuses his eyes on the clownfish swimming around in the massive tank. "He really is a C rank, literally the only person in school ranked higher than you." Hearing this fact, Gong Ting cannot help but shoot a quick glare right at him. Gong Huan puts both hands behind his back and just keeps on talking. "This time, your dad personally invited the Alliance Vice President to come all the way here to watch your graduation performance. You saw this coming, right? We cannot let anyone steal your spotlight." He glances behind him and lowers his voice quietly. "If things go wrong, We will just have to get your niece to fill the empty spot on Gongting's team. Gongting also cannot help but look in the exact same direction. Hearing that backup plan, Gongting boldly speaks up. Uncle, you worry way too much. His sharp eyes turn totally cold and arrogant all over again. Do people actually think I used my full strength during that test? Gongting watches the clownfish about to get eaten by a shark and speaks. Relax. When the practical exam day arrives, I am going to show absolutely everyone who the strongest person really is around here. His tone becomes incredibly sharp and scheming, lips curling up into an evil smirk. Fast forward to 2300 hours inside the men's dormitory at National Awakened University. Chen sinks his entire back deeply into the steaming hot water. His brutal 100-kilometer heavy weight training for today is completely finished. He unconsciously bows his head, lost in thought. The money problem is officially solved, and everything is running super smoothly right now. Right after graduation, he can finally launch his official master plan into action. Chen seems to be brooding over something. The next mission is to effortlessly win the 1 million credit graduation scholarship and use it to completely pay off his massive loan with Qingji. He instantly thinks of that mysterious man with glasses and green hair. The contract with Qingji absolutely must be followed. After all, he still needs to rely on his help for a lot of future plans. Head resting on his arms. Trust me, we are not ready for this. Let's dive in. The final exams are less than a month away. He slowly closes his eyes, realizing he needs a few more level ups to prepare. Right then, a loading bar finally finishes processing. System boot up complete. The Gluttony system is now active. Chen walks steadily forward. Step by step, he climbs up the staircase, getting closer and closer to his ultimate reward. He takes his time checking his own personal stats. His previous test results showed that his absolutely weakest class right now is the Zombie King. That one can reach C rank. Seeing this, he falls into a long, deep silence. But his strongest class, Purgatory Rakshasa, its rank completely failed to display on screen. Its potential value is totally unreadable, exceeding the system's absolute maximum load limit. Even though Purgatory Rakshasa is officially S rank, he still cannot use its full power at this current moment. Exactly how much power he can actually use remains a total mystery. Chen cannot help but compare. Because of this, the actual ranks of his two remaining classes are still unknown. At that exact moment, the Time Rift key suddenly appears out of nowhere. Chen does not hesitate to test this out immediately. Looks like today is for practical combat testing. The massive stone gate slowly creaks open, and he steps right inside. You and I are about to see exactly what this demon tower holds. Inside, a thick purple aura swirls around the entire room, blocking most of Chen's vision. After just a second, panic flashes across his face, his eyes widening in pure surprise. This mysterious area Chen just walked into is known as the Falling Star Wasteland. His entire body is suddenly hit by an overwhelmingly powerful, invisible force. Chen instantly loses control of his own body and drops right to his knees. His face scrunches up in pure agony. His eyebrows tightly knit together, teeth locked and clenched. The gravity here is absolutely terrifying. The surface gravity in the Falling Star Wasteland is pushing around 10 Gs. Chen struggles alone to support his currently weakened physical body. That entrance door completely vanished. Looks like he has to destroy this floor's boss to open it again. Under these extreme environmental conditions, at absolute best, he can only use about 30% of his true strength. He needs to adapt fast. Right then, the massive legs of a ferocious beast appear right in front of him. That monster is called the Phantom Lion, a B-rank elite warrior beast. Seeing this incoming threat, sparks of lightning instinctively flash across Chen's hand. He is switching his class. Right after, the system delivers a notification. The class change is now fully complete. He grips his weapon tight. Are you seeing this? So you are the actual enemy of this floor. The second he speaks, the Phantom Lion aggressively launches itself straight at Chen without any hesitation. But he easily manages to force his body down, smoothly dodging that vicious attack. Chen immediately spins right back around and unleashes his signature skill. Thunderblade. His body feels too heavy, so he must end this fast. But due to some nasty environmental factors, his strike misses the weak point, and the paralysis effect completely fails. At this exact moment, Chen's eyes flashed brightly once again, his expression turning completely fierce. His stab went wide. Meanwhile, the Phantom Lion instantly takes the upper hand, pinning him brutally against the hard dirt ground. The intense gravity is severely impacting both his attack speed and his overall combat accuracy. While processing this, Chen carefully observes the ferocious monster standing right over him. His assassin class lost all its advantages here, yet this monster remains completely unfazed. Makes you wonder, right? Is this the normal monster difficulty inside the Purgatory Demon Tower? The Phantom Lion does not hesitate to bare its razor-sharp fangs. It clamps onto his wrist. Then the system alert drops. Class transition is completely finished. Level 14. Chen. Purgatory Rakshasa. Chen's eyes suddenly explode with a fierce blue light, his teeth gritting together hard. Stick with me here, because he instantly flips the switch straight into Purgatory Rakshasa mode. Every single class comes with its own core advantage and uniquely overpowered abilities. Close combat? You absolutely need a warrior build with insane boosts to strength and stamina. Meanwhile, that phantom spirit monster is still biting down extremely hard on his wrist. But not for long. He gathers all his raw power and completely flips the script. He pins the phantom spirit to the ground, pulling back a fist packed with absolute devastating force. Gravity multiplies to the absolute max limit. The falling impact and shockwave push past extreme limits. Chen channels every ounce of his energy into this one strike. He looks like he wants to eat it alive. In a high-gravity zone like this floor, the explosive power of this single punch gets multiplied by a massive 60 times. The phantom spirit basically gets obliterated into nothing but dust and smoke right then. Chen's strike is so wild that the force pierces straight through its flesh, shattering the floor. He lowers his voice, coldly declaring his dominance over the beast. "Watch closely now. Do not get in my way," he yells, as the system chimes again. Ding. Warrior, 3 generals, heavy calamity, super heavy mode activated. A moment later, Chen's blood-soaked hand rests on the cold ground. He's totally paralyzed from pure exhaustion. Lying right next to the phantom spirit's corpse, he stares at the glowing system prompt. He receives 1 phantom spirit bone, plus a massive 12,000 experience points. Level up. Chen narrows his eyes slightly, gasping hard for breath in the quiet aftermath. He suddenly thinks back to the star symbols marked on each of his class cards. Every single star represents another massive boost to his overall stats. More stars mean much higher intensity after a class change. He starts running the numbers in his head. The Purgatory Rakshasa has way more stars, meaning the overall buffs are completely off the charts. This new power tier is probably a bit stronger than his Thunder Assassin class. He's quietly calculating his next move, but taking down just one single B-rank monster right then and there took absolutely everything he had. It looks like both of his current active classes still haven't broken past B rank. Chen is sweating bullets now, his eyebrows knit together tightly. Thinking about this, he glances over at the mangled, broken body of the phantom spirit on the ground. He keeps wondering, why didn't the system give him the prompt to assimilate this specific monster after he killed it? Utterly exhausted, Chen struggles to get back up. Plus, the door to the next floor hasn't even appeared yet. Then suddenly, it hits him like a truck. His eyes go wide open. You and I both see it, right? A portal to another dimension just ripped open right behind him. Inside that dark void, countless glowing eyes suddenly light up with a blinding, terrifying glare. Chen falls into absolute panic. Could it be that the real floor boss hasn't even shown up yet? He watches a massive horde of phantom spirits leap out, realizing the thing he just fought so hard to kill was just a normal mob. Instantly, one of those new beasts lunges right at his throat. It sinks its teeth into Chen's shoulder. Right after that, the rest of the pack swarms him. Chen stands there. A dark realization washes over him. At this exact moment, he finally understands the true, hidden meaning behind the Purgatory Rakshasa's warning. He doesn't even make a single move to fight back. He just lets the beasts attack, because as you and I just learned, once that door opens, endless pain awaits. Alright, stick with me here. He stares at those razor-sharp teeth and mutters about bearing the pain. Seeing this, Chen instantly twists his face into pure horror. He absolutely has to win it all. Boom, back to reality. He shoots up in bed, totally dazed. Chen is literally hyperventilating from fear. Sitting alone in his dark dorm room, he instinctively reaches up and grabs his own throat. Muscles tearing apart, flesh ripping right off the bone. That vivid dream trauma? It all felt way too real. He just narrows his eyes, trying to focus. Sweating like crazy. If he wants to get stronger, there are absolutely zero cheat codes. This brutal, lonely path through absolute hell? Yeah, it is only just getting started. Cut to Friday, May 20th, 2157. We are looking right at the massive grand hall of the National Awakener University. Inside the lecture hall, the big program for the graduating class of 2157 is just about to kick off. It is the graduation combat exam and team forming ceremony. And one of the judges sitting up there is Gong Huan, the head director of the recruitment office. Seeing him, students immediately start whispering to each other in the crowd. Did you guys hear? Rumor has it that high-ranking officials from the Guild Alliance are actually coming to watch this graduation exam in person. Meanwhile, Chen is chilling in the very back row, eyes closed, just listening. Now pay attention. No wonder they suddenly changed the exam rules this year. A second later, he finally opens his eyes, slowly taking in all the non-stop gossip echoing around the massive room. In past years, there were never any strict minimums for team size or power ranks. But this time around, every single team is required to have at least 5 members. Plus, they absolutely must have at least one person who hit the upper E-rank tier. Did they tweak the rules just to make things a little more entertaining? Honestly, who knows? Right then, Gong Huan slowly reaches out to adjust his microphone. Sitting way up on that high podium, he speaks with absolute, heavy authority. The official rank info for every single student in this class has just been sent straight to your smart bracelets. Please review your stats and hurry up to get your team formations completely locked in. Instantly, every single student starts staring wide-eyed at the holographic notice boards floating before them, displaying their names, their power levels, and their current team status. We all knew a twist was coming. A guy suddenly looks totally panicked and shouts, "That is wrong!" The board clearly lists Chen as a lower E rank. Ma Long is completely stunned, refusing to believe his eyes. Chen, how in the world are you only a lower E rank? Right then, another girl whips her head around in pure panic. Wait, during the previous test, Chen. He clearly showed up as a C rank, but now he dropped down to lower E rank? Another dude quickly cuts in. Oh wow, turns out the magic core scanner really was broken last time. I was originally planning to team up with Chen if I could not squeeze into Gongting's group. Who knew he was just a weak lower E rank? Another voice in the crowd does not hesitate to chime in. Well, game over for him. Absolutely no one is going to want him on their team now. Right in the middle of all that noise, another harsh voice echoes through the room. This graduation exam is way too important. Who would actually carry a low-level burden like him into a real fight? Chen rejected Gongting's invite earlier, so he must be dying of regret right about now. Meanwhile, Gongting is just sitting there in total silence, his eyebrows furrowed tight together. He locks eyes with Gong Huan sitting right across the room. And that is when the older man flashes a mocking smirk. My completely useless nephew, when are you finally going to learn how to properly manipulate absolute power and human nature? Makes you wonder what he's plotting, right? Hands clasped, looking pure evil. Let Uncle teach you a proper lesson. Your little opponent will not even have the basic qualification to participate in this exam. After hearing that loud notification sound ring out. Alright, jump in with me, time to form teams before the clock runs out. Immediately, absolute chaos erupts. Everyone starts screaming for President Gongting. President Gongting, please. Students who clearly do not know their own place keep shouting, please let me join your elite squad. Pick me, pick me. At this moment, desperate people are just frantically begging for a spot. President, I am a third-year student. I swear I will not drag your team down. Oh great captain, listen up. My healing class will definitely be a massive help to your incredible team, I promise. Lord President, I will literally be your loyal dog, just please. Hearing this pathetic begging, a guy snaps and immediately barks back. Hey, you are way too loud. Back the heck up right now. We can only add one more person to our team, that is it. Half an hour later, 4 people high-five. Team formed successfully. At this point, almost everyone in the room has found their very own battle squad. Let us do our best, brothers. Go hard. Meanwhile, Ma Long is falling into an absolute pit of total, soul-crushing despair. We asked around forever, but literally nobody wants to join up with our squad. Instantly, one of the Xiang brothers grabs his hair, completely frustrated and losing his mind. Our little group only has 4 members so far. Does this mean we cannot even participate in the final graduation exam at all? Ma Long grits his teeth, and honestly, you and I know this whole setup is completely rigged. How could Chen possibly be ranked at the absolute bottom tier right now? He does not hesitate to throw out his own honest opinion. Registration requires at least 5 people, minimum high E tier. It seriously feels like someone is intentionally targeting our dorm room to make us fail completely. The moment he says that, an idea instantly pops into Chen's brilliant mind. The practical graduation exam is literally everyone's only chance to show off their true skills. If the squad scores high, they finally get a real shot at finding much better jobs. He starts quietly calculating his next move. During the final evaluation phase, the amount of monsters inside the demonic cave entirely depends on the team's total size. But more people does not automatically mean it is easier to grab a super high score. Right after that, Chen quietly glances over at the three guys still suffering miserably. That is exactly why everyone is crowding around, desperate to join Gong Ting's overpowered team. And obviously, absolutely nobody is willing to tag along with a low-level garbage squad. Chen continues to think about the team formation statuses he had just checked out. The three absolute lowest-ranked students in the entire academy are all low E tier, and they all live right here in our dorm. If this continues, we are doomed. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a voice loudly calls out to Xiangzuo. The arrogant leader of another group cuts straight to the chase. We are missing one person, so come join our elite team right now. You seriously do not want to join that trash squad with your three low E-tier dorm roommates, do you? Join up, or lose out. You and I know exactly how brutal academy politics can get here. Hearing this complete disrespect, Chen's eyes unexpectedly narrow into a deadly, cold glare. If things keep going like this, us three low E-tier guys will highly likely get completely abandoned by absolutely everyone. He does not hesitate to clearly draw the harsh line for low E-tier, mid E-tier, and eventually losing the right to participate entirely. Suddenly, Xiangzuo unexpectedly softens his voice. I am truly sorry. He quietly glances over at that incredibly arrogant group and bluntly states, our dorm already agreed to become a single team, and I will absolutely never abandon my loyal roommates for anything. They walk away. Trust me, you are going to absolutely love this loyal squad. Stick with me, the sheer disrespect here is absolutely wild. We only invited you to fill the head count, yet you still have the nerve to refuse us. What an absolutely ungrateful punk. Hangta cannot hold back and loudly yells, stop looking down on other people. The system panel flashes again, displaying the current ranks and full party statuses. Seeing this makes Ma Long panic even more, his voice shaking with pure awkwardness. It looks like literally everyone else has already formed their complete teams. There are barely any high-tier E ranks left now. We are clearly still missing one member, but nobody is willing to join up with us. Hearing this harsh reality, Tutron says absolutely nothing and quietly glances at Ma Long, immediately realizing the dark truth behind this. It is the employment office director Kung Huyan, a solid mid-tier C rank. Sharing the exact same last name as Kung Din, he is definitely from the Kung family. Tutran stares intensely at the man who is still standing there in deep silence. Changing the rules of a crucial graduation exam just like that, without any real warning. He even deliberately changed his actual rank level just to stop others from forming a team with him. Does he actually think he is threatening Kung Din right now? Thinking about this, a massive wave of intense determination violently rises up within his heart. But I am definitely taking this graduation exam no matter what happens. Class change is currently processing. If they want to target him, you need to watch this. The system flashes and alert class change is fully complete. Seeing this amazing upgrade, Tutron looks way more confident. Well then, I really do not need to hold back anymore. Proving my actual strength is definitely not just limited to this basic little exam anyway. Meanwhile, everyone sitting at the judge's table is completely stunned by his sudden intense attitude. And Ma Long simply cannot hold back his loud scream, Bro, what are you doing? Standing opposite to them, Tutron remains completely lost in thought. The Awakened Academy has always secretly maintained a very special and brutal tradition. Despite countless people outside loudly gossiping and whispering right now, does he actually want to do it? What exactly is that kid Tutran planning? To help students become absolute masters at their class skills and real combat, students are allowed to initiate a brutal one-on-one duel literally anywhere on campus. His eyes suddenly flash with a blinding burst of golden light. This specific action is highly provocative, but it lets you flex your actual power in front of everyone in the most direct way possible. I know what you are thinking. Facing a sudden challenge like this, most normal people would totally refuse. Tutron looks at the crowd in front of him with absolute certainty. But Kung Din definitely will never back down. He notices the guy glaring right at him. Tutron slightly furrows his thick eyebrows in total serious focus. Just beat him down, and people chasing high scores will definitely beg to join his team. Suddenly, the beautiful silhouette of a girl appears right at the door calling out, Tutran, Your party is still missing one member, right? Those surprising words immediately grab his attention, so Tutron slowly turns his head around. I also really want to participate in the school graduation exam this year. Lin Vu calmly continues speaking at her own pace. I already reached rank D back in middle school. If I officially join your team, I probably will not drag you down at all, right? The moment she finishes, Hang Ta instantly shows a look of pure admiration. Holy crap! Since when did he know her? You and I are officially witnessing absolute peak drama unfold right now. On the other side, Kung Than cannot hold back his loud scream. Cousin! What did she just say? This is completely crazy. Gong Huan completely chokes, spitting his water everywhere. Meanwhile, Ling Yu just takes her time, walking slowly right toward the center of the group. Stick with me, because everyone here is about to lose their minds gossiping. Vice President Ling Yu actually wants to team up with Si Chen's absolute noob squad. Wait a minute. Isn't she just a temporary exchange student from the outside? Why in the world does she want to join our academy's official graduation exam? Her entire background is totally mysterious, but the rumor is she's some kind of absolute genius girl hailing straight from the Holy River Kingdom. Seeing this, Gong Huan just can't contain his boiling anger. Why exactly is this girl suddenly trying to help an absolute outsider? Student Ling Yu, you are strictly an exchange student here, meaning you have zero right to participate in our academy's graduation test. He glares directly at the girl standing right across from him and keeps talking. Plus, you literally haven't taken a single evaluation test since you transferred over to this specific campus, and I haven't seen a single official report or any test results that can actually prove your current power rank. So you joining this specific assessment is completely and utterly against our academy's rules. Now watch closely. Principal Yuan Long appears from absolutely nowhere and interrupts. Director Gong Huan is right. This totally freaks Ma Long out. Principal, exactly when did you even get here? Seeing that, Gong Huan jumps right up. Principal, why did you suddenly show up too? But Yuan Long completely ignores him, focusing strictly on questioning the girl in front of them. Ling Yu, you only came to our academy for a temporary exchange, so why are you here causing such a massive scene? As soon as he finishes speaking, Si Chen gets immediately startled. Wait, isn't the principal's official class supposed to be a warrior? How on earth does he have an instant teleportation skill like that? Meanwhile, Yuan Long looks at her and asks again. Ling Yu, if you actually join this battle, it completely ruins the fairness. These graduation exams only have real meaning if they accurately reflect a student's true combat ability, right? The girl feels a bit embarrassed hearing that. Well, that's really a pity. Right now, Si Chen's eyes flash with a pale blue glow. He stares incredibly hard at those two powerhouses. You and I saw that coming, right? He can't probe their ranks at all. Meanwhile, Gong Huan fakes a smile. The principal is absolutely right. Our academy has maintained such a legendary reputation exactly because we always do things by the strict rules. Hearing this, Yuan Long immediately steps right into the middle of the hall and speaks up. The core mission of the National Awakener University is training top-tier awakeners and giving them the absolute best stage possible to show off their raw combat talents, to guarantee a rich, stable supply of awakened prodigies for the rest of the entire world. He then very frankly admits that the graduation combat assessment is a sacred tradition strictly maintained for 15 solid years now. This is absolutely one of the biggest and most important turning points in all these students' lives. His thick eyebrows pull together into a frown. If a student loses this massive opportunity just because of some special internal factors, how could the academy ever handle the blame for ruining their future? As those words end, Gong Huan quickly realizes. This crazy old man is totally throwing hints at me. Could he actually know that I was secretly pulling strings behind the scenes? He normally never cares about these tiny little trivial matters at all. Then the principal looks right over the crowd once again. Did he and Ling Yu seriously team up to put on this whole act just for that weak brat? Gong Huan lowers his head, hiding his face. Forget it. Fighting this stubborn old man to the death is completely pointless right now. You and I just watched him glare again at the man sharing his surname. Let's jump in. Gong Ting, buddy, I can only help you this far. The top-tier students have already teamed up to crush this mission, leaving only that brat Si Chen dragging 3 absolute losers along to join the fight. You'll win this easily, right? Then Gong Huan suddenly stands up and gives a deep bow. Principal, you are absolutely right. Our recruitment office really dropped the ball on this one. We totally failed to consider how the current team-forming format could leave certain weaker people left behind. Raising both hands, he just lays it all out. I declare that teams with fewer than 5 members, or those without anyone reaching upper E tier, can still officially register for the exam right now. The door to this massive evaluation, the graduation combat exam, remains wide open for absolutely everyone. In another corner, 4 hands stacked together. The ultimate underdog squad is formed. Xiang Zuo screams out in pure hype, "We actually get to join the combat test smoothly." Ma Long does not hesitate either. "Si Chen, you are definitely our captain this time." Scene cuts. Yuan Long sits back calmly and speaks up. "Your interest in that kid Si Chen is honestly way stronger than I ever thought, Ling Yu." He slowly breaks down the whole situation. On one side, the strongest team in school history, led by Gong Ting. On the other, Si Chen and his 3 roommates, the absolute lowest ranking students in the academy. Now pay attention here. Which crazy dungeon will they actually pick? And how many points can they actually earn? Suddenly, an old man leaps up. Once teams are formed, the captain can finally select their specific dungeon. Instantly, a file arrives. It is submitted so fast, even he is completely shocked. A team already picked their dungeon? Are they that fast? Seeing this, a guy from another squad looks completely stunned and confused. Si Chen's squad already made their choice? Everyone else cannot stop freaking out over the absolute madness they just selected. Meanwhile, Ma Long and Xiang Yu are frantically trying to stop him. "Si Chen, are you completely insane? Cancel it." "Cancel it now, Si Chen, please bro." One of them quickly shouts at him. "Do you even realize what you just locked us into?" This graduation exam is the first time students enter a real, terrifying dungeon as a squad. Students earn credits by clearing out the minor monsters and taking down the dungeon lord inside. Different dungeon levels demand completely different strategies and difficulty scaling. The bonus point multipliers completely change based on that. So if you pick an F-tier dungeon, the max score is capped at 75 points. You and I know King tier hits different. It theoretically grants a perfect 100 points. For the top scoring team, every single member gets an invite to the legendary Empire Guild. The MVP of that specific squad instantly secures a high management position directly inside the Empire Guild, plus a cool 1 million reward. The watching students carefully analyze the massive screen. The absolute highest exam score record in school history is exactly 90 points, set by a former genius, the current captain of the Emperor faction. Yeah, an E-tier dungeon is seriously tough to clear for anyone. You need at least 3 D-rank fighters just to have a chance. They look over at him and start making their wild guesses. Gong Ting's squad might actually challenge that legendary school record today. Hearing the system alert, the guy opens his eyes wide. Submitted? A team already picked their dungeon? How is that even possible? Right after that, he jolts up and screams in pure shock. "Oh my god, it is Si Chen's squad. Trust me, this wild choice leaves everyone speechless. Stick with me here. He actually picked a D-rank dungeon." Si Chen's face is right there on screen. The D-rank dungeon is selected, waiting for his teammates to confirm. The other guy stammers, looking back in absolute terror. Historically, not a single student has ever cleared a D rank. This guy definitely just clicked the wrong button, right? Ma Long grabs his hand tight, totally interrogating Si Chen. "Are you out of your mind? Do you even realize what you just chose?" Xiang Zuo collapses straight to the floor, holding his head, shaking. "Crazy, absolutely insane. Why am I even stuck on a team with a maniac like you?" He stares up at the screen, desperately trying to calculate his options. Is there still time to back out of this team? Sweating bullets, Ma Long double checks with Si Chen one more time. "Hey bro, have you seriously thought this through? That is a D-rank dungeon. It is basically a death trap." But Si Chen remains completely unfazed and determined. He confirms with zero hesitation. "Yeah, I thought about it." Right after that, Gong Ding submits his application too. Successfully submitted. The system suddenly chimes out loud, announcing that every single team member has confirmed. Gong Ding's team officially registers. The entire crowd instantly goes absolutely wild with pure excitement. Oh my god, another D rank. Somebody else actually picked the D rank dungeon. Holy crap. Everyone is super hyped, totally looking forward to how this year's exam plays out. We definitely have a good show to watch now. Shishin turns her head, flashing a super arrogant smirk. Just a bunch of weaklings trying to act tough, totally clueless about their actual power levels. Meanwhile, Si Chen's squad stays perfectly calm, not even bothering to pay attention. Yan Xiong crosses his arms, mocking them with pure disgust. They know they are dead last, so they are just risking their lives for attention. That is a D-rank dungeon. I know what you're thinking. His teammates will never agree. They should back out and switch teams while they can. Shishin joins in on the trash talk, laughing at them. A team broken right after forming. How pathetic. So pathetic. Over on their side, Ma Long is still watching Chen super closely. He is looking at his friend in a totally new light now. Chen's expression is just so incredibly unshakable. This intense, dominant aura radiating from him. When exactly did he start giving off this kind of vibe? All through college, I was the one always protecting you. The look in Ma Long's eyes gets deeper and more thoughtful by the second. Finally, he puts his total trust in him and decides, we have been together for 4 years. I will follow you to the bitter end. Xiangzuo finally makes his call. And honestly, you and I can relate. Dead last is dead last. F or D rank makes no difference. Might as well hit the D rank dungeon and broaden our horizons. Suddenly, Xiangzuo grits his teeth and shouts out loud. Hey guys, he runs over, totally frustrated, ready to interrogate them. Seriously, what the hell? I am clearly the boss of our dorm, so how did I end up dead last like this? Then Xiangzuo throws his hand in the air, deciding to follow the crew. I am risking it all too. We are basically about to graduate anyway. Let's go completely crazy. And just like that, his team is completely locked and confirmed. All members have officially confirmed. Chen's squad successfully submits their crazy dungeon application. Chen looks genuinely surprised, glancing over at his friends. You guys. Looking a little guilty and sad, he confesses to them, I am sorry. I only picked the D-rank dungeon to snatch the MVP title. Chen feels absolutely terrible about dragging them into this. Now I am forcing everyone to risk their lives with me. He turns around with a bright smile, full of absolute determination. Then let's grab the highest score together. But suddenly Gong Ding steps right up behind him, declaring, that MVP is mine. Chen snaps his head back in total surprise. His eyes light up, glowing with pure confidence as he fires right back at him. Chen, there is only one strongest person in this school. Lingyu sees this reaction and is totally caught off guard. It is her first time seeing an expression like that on Gong Ding's face. She watches them, feeling incredibly hyped and excited. The epic showdown between these two legendary rivals is finally stepping into the spotlight. Makes you think, right? Yuan Long watches and admits, being young and fearless is amazing. Stick with me here. Unafraid of the unknown, Lin Vu squints, making her judgment. But Tu Tran picking a D rank? That is way too overconfident. Even as a C rank, wanting to solo lead a squad into a D rank dungeon is totally impossible. She carefully calculates the odds before reaching this exact conclusion. Sure, D rank multipliers are 3, giving a theoretical max of 150 points, but the difficulty is several times harder than an E rank dungeon. With their team's current actual strength, this choice is clearly far from optimal. He just smiles, completely agreeing with her assessment. Exactly right. Only over half a month remains until the final exam begins. Nguyen Lung confidently states a harsh truth. Making a qualitative breakthrough in that short time is impossible, but he has not lost all faith, hoping Tu Tran's team will put up an acceptable performance. 10:45 p.m., over in the combat simulation room. His squad keeps pushing hard, training relentlessly. 17 days left until the exam. Ma Long scrunches his face, asking while totally exhausted, Hey Tu Tran, everyone else hits the utility room to practice elemental powers and fight simulated monsters. Why do you drag us out to do this basic stuff all day? He feels all this training is totally useless. Throwing balls, dodging, relay sprints, long and short runs. The graduation exam is not a literal triathlon, so what is the point of practicing this? But Tu Tran remains incredibly firm about his own training method. Right now, at this stage, practicing elemental powers or running combat simulations is basically pointless anyway. It is all just theory. Now, pay attention here. He stands straight, emphasizing that inside unknown dungeons, facing monsters you have never seen before, when pure fear and sheer ignorance flood in like a disaster, the thing deciding your fate is not that useless theory in your head. Tu Tran strictly and firmly confirms the harsh reality. It is your instinct. He explains these drills directly build up their raw stamina and explosive power. The reflexes you are practicing right now exist purely to enhance bodily instinct. Tu Tran closes his eyes, analyzing it carefully for them. The actual help that the Academy simulation training can provide is extremely limited. The only truly useful thing is entering a real dungeon for actual combat. He narrows his eyes, frowning as he reminds them. Real combat training dungeons are closed to ordinary people. We both know how this works. The privileged kids were never normal anyway. The specific person Tutron is talking about here is none other than Kung Din. It is like he can perfectly read that guy's arrogant personality. They will pay absolutely any price to widen the gap with ordinary people. Inside the training dungeons, keeping themselves forever at the very top. Tutran has always understood exactly how these elites operate. From birth, they possess things others chase forever without touching. He clearly emphasizes their terrifying advantage. Hangta hears this, jaw dropping in fear as he asks, "Then what about guys like us with absolutely nothing in our hands?" Tutron gets strict, offering the way. Score highest to enter the Imperial Guild, completely crushing the class barriers ahead. He emphasizes this exam's importance. The graduation test is their only chance to ascend. This means absolutely everything to Tutran. Trust me, it is his ultimate shot. He holds on to that faith, declaring it with absolute confidence. Stick with me here. He is putting his life on the line for this promise. We are definitely going to win. Time flies by in a flash. Only 15 days left until the massive graduation exam. Chen grinds every single day inside the Phantom Dream Tower, right in the barren falling star zone. But bad luck strikes, and he suddenly takes a nasty hit. A brutal slap sends him flying, coughing up fresh blood. Time is running out, so he leads the whole crew in intense running drills. 10 days left. 5 more laps, keep up. Ma Long collapses to the dirt, completely exhausted and gasping for air. After that, Chen jumps right back into grinding inside his own private space. Meanwhile, Gong Ting is also pushing hard, perfecting her sword skills. Chen steps up, helping everyone else push through their brutal physical training. 5 days left. The clock is ticking, and Gong Ting is becoming so much stronger. 3 days to go. He is rapidly leveling up, breaking through new limits. 2 days of non-stop upgrades. By the final day, Chen is mentally locked in and fully ready for the exam. Now watch closely, because the real battle is here. That massive day has finally arrived. June 17th, 2157. The day of the official live combat graduation exam arrives. A drone suddenly floats up to quickly introduce itself. "Hello, candidates. I am your companion drone for this exam." Chen ignores the chatter, carefully and tightly strapping on his combat gloves. The drone speaks up again, double-checking with all the waiting candidates. "Please verify that your smart bracelets and combat gear are equipped correctly." Then it suddenly blasts a massive announcement. "Attention all students, the live combat graduation exam officially begins right now." The scene shifts to the outside. The massive campus of the National Awakener University, right by the administration building. Yuan Long steps outside, offering a very friendly handshake to his guests. "It has been a long time, President Gong." Gonglin flashes a quick smile and replies back, "Yeah, sorry for keeping the principal waiting." Students looking down from above are absolutely amazed by the scene. Wait, is that really one of the founding members of the Imperial Guild down there? He is so handsome. Then their attention quickly locks onto someone still sitting inside the white car. Who in the world is waiting in that vehicle at the back to actually make a famous Imperial Guild founder? And the principal personally invite them out of the car? A red-haired guy steps out of the car, and instantly, every single pair of eyes is locked right onto him. The students are absolutely stunned. I know what you are thinking. The Alliance Vice President? Why is the Vice President of the Guild Alliance visiting our school? Some people still cannot process reality. Oh my god, this is insane. You might not even see these top-tier legends in a single lifetime. No wonder the entire administration area got completely locked down today. The Guild Alliance is basically the most powerful organization in the world right now. Imagine catching their eye. Yuan Long gestures forward, acting super polite and incredibly cautious. The live broadcast for the graduation exam is about to start. Please come inside. The students are already dreaming of the insane benefits. No way. Just making a little bit of contact with the Guild Alliance would instantly change your life forever. Meanwhile, Gonghuan raises his hand to introduce the setup for this exam. A total of 184 students are joining the live combat graduation, split into 28 different teams. He breaks down the ranks and team choices here. Out of those, 23 teams picked the F-rank Demon Cave. 3 teams chose the E-rank Demon Cave. Only 2 teams picked the D rank. Sigrid is completely surprised, and trust me, you are going to want to see this. Alright, let's jump right in. She looks visibly worried, double-checking with them if a team really chose the D rank dungeon. A D rank dungeon is officially classified as extremely dangerous. even for fully geared professional guild parties. Did you thoroughly explain the life-threatening risks of this dungeon to the students beforehand? Meanwhile, a guy in the back could not care less, casually offering out snacks. Anyone want a bite? Gong Huan steps up, looking completely and utterly confident. Of course, we made the risks perfectly clear beforehand. Lacking real combat experience, most students are stuck at the absolute lowest E rank. Taking on basic low-level mobs inside an F-rank dungeon is barely manageable for them. Cutting to another space entirely, we see students actively fighting against a monster inside the F-rank zone. He carefully explains the difficulty curve, noting that going up against a boss-tier monster will be an extreme struggle for them. A boss monster's raw power completely dwarfs any regular mob of the exact same tier. Students have to go all out just to defeat a boss in the lowest F-rank dungeon. Gong Huan then switches the feed to show them a different area entirely. But the situation inside an E-rank dungeon is completely different, and he makes sure everyone understands why. Now watch closely. Inside an E-rank dungeon, every single basic mob hits just as hard as an F-rank boss. One student curls up, absolutely shaking with fear. Why on earth is an E-rank dungeon this insanely hard? Completely beyond their wildest expectations. Gong Huan strongly emphasizes the sheer difficulty spike here. Because of this reality, for the vast majority of students, clearing an E-rank dungeon is basically an impossible suicide mission. Hearing this, Sigrid gets curious and asks, are there any protective measures in place if the students face life-threatening danger? Gong Huan understands her concern completely. He quickly reassures her. Please do not worry, Secretary General. The students are our absolute most precious resource. He breaks it down clearly just to put her anxious mind at ease. Outside every single dungeon, armed Imperial Guild staff are constantly on watch. If they spot any extreme danger, they will immediately jump in and intervene. Gong Huan even adds another point, bursting with total confidence. Plus, the test bracelets the candidates wear already have a built-in teleportation function. Right then, a terrified voice rings out in the room. I give up on the exam, I quit. He highlights the core rule here. The moment a candidate verbally calls it quits during the combat exam, they will be instantly teleported completely out of the dungeon. People are literally collapsing and trembling in pure terror. It is horrifying. Fully understanding these rules, Sigrid looks even more eager to see the results. I know what you're thinking. After all that, 2 whole student teams still chose the way harder D-rank dungeon. It really seems your academy is absolutely packed with bold talent. Let us just wait and see how they perform. Both she and Gong Huan are incredibly excited for the show. Exactly. I also want to see just how many minutes they can actually survive in there. He looks extremely amused by the whole situation, quickly guessing that those arrogant kids will come running out crying soon. Inside, the whole area is covered in pure white snow. Ma Long suddenly stops and questions everything. A highly dangerous D-rank dungeon. What the heck is this Yunsen Forest Peak? A freakishly weird-looking monkey is just sitting right there, completely terrifying him. Ghost bat monkeys look so incredibly creepy. Chen quickly recognizes the beast and immediately warns the entire squad. Ghost bat monkeys are lower-tier magical beasts that hunt in packs, diving from the sky at absolute lightning speed. Stay sharp for their dive attacks. The group is already being completely surrounded and watched by these bizarre creatures. Suddenly, the monsters jump straight down from above. Chen whips around and screams out a warning. Everyone, here they come. Xiang Zuo spots the incoming strike and hastily dodges aside. Ma Long grabs his face in sheer panic and violently leaps away. Xiang Yu jumps and drops into a full split just to dodge. You and I both have to admit, dodging that was wild. They actually managed to dodge that terrifying monster attack just now. A D-rank beast. Ma Long is still shaking, realizing he is somehow alive. Stick with me, because something completely insane just showed up. Hang Ta stares in absolute shock. He cannot believe Tutron's terrifying hidden power. In a flash, he soloed 3 D-rank beasts. Tutron warns them. You guys are just not strong enough to handle these things right now. Just focus on staying alive. Then he confidently smirks. Leave the rest to me. But the second Tutron finishes his epic speech. Hang Ta suddenly screams out in pure panic. Watch out. A massive tornado blasts him away. Hang Ta looks up, finally putting it together. Tutran was secretly training their reaction speed and explosive power this entire time. He never expected their help. He just wanted them strong enough to protect their own lives. He frowns hard. He was supposed to be the top dog of their dorm. Now this rookie is carrying his graduation. Meanwhile, as Hung Ta overthinks, Tu Tron is fighting for his life. Now watch this part closely. Those demon beasts show absolutely zero mercy. But before the monster can even touch him, it gets completely smashed to pieces. Hang Ta watches this brutal showdown unfold, completely stunned by the raw power. Ma Long warned him that Tu Tron was crazy strong. He did not believe it before, but seeing it right now changes absolutely everything. He keeps watching, realizing the insane truth. This guy is way too overpowered for a graduating student. Hang Ta just freezes there. He fights like a seasoned battlefield veteran. His face suddenly turns completely dark. How did he become so reliable out of nowhere? Am I really being left behind here? Right at this exact moment, Hang Hu shatters his thoughts, screaming out, "Watch your back, another one is coming." Triggered by adrenaline, he counters. Hang Ta violently grabs the demon bat monkey's leg. Holding it down, he yells, "Hey, move to the right, Ma Long. I know what you are thinking. Can they really just let Tu Tran carry them?" Hang Ta fires back. This is not just his graduation exam. He furiously screams at the top of his lungs, "This is our exam too!" Hearing this, Hang Hu finally snaps out of it. "You're totally right." He launches his Binding Vines technique to counterattack, yelling, "Taste my true power." The demon bat monkey is instantly choked out by this crazy new pressure. It struggles wildly for a second before violently ripping the vines apart. Realizing his power cannot hold the beast down, Hang Hu panics and jumps back immediately. At the exact same time, Ma Long throws his frost talisman to lock it in place. He frantically shouts out loud, "I slowed it down. Hang Hu, attack together now." Seizing the perfect moment, he gathers his energy to strike. "Let's see you escape." Seeing the frost talisman and Binding Vines combo land perfectly, they both scream out loud. Hang Ta takes his chance. Hearing the cue, he instantly ignites a blazing fire and yells out, "Yes!" His burst flame strike blasts right toward the trapped demon bat monkey. "Eat this!" The moment the fiery impact hits the beast, a deafening screech fills the air. But trust me, that insane beast took absolutely zero damage. Wild, right? You and I are jumping right into the chaos. This beast is still roaring. Shang Zuo yells, "Absolute monster." His blazing fire bullets just keep relentlessly raining down right onto its position. Xiang Yu is practically hitting his absolute limit, barely managing to grit out, "I can't hold it much longer." At the exact same time, Ma Long's entire body starts violently shaking. He's totally reached his breaking point. Seeing those two yelling like crazy, Shang Zuo just scoffs. "Guess we are going all in then." He doesn't hesitate for a single second and attacks. "This is my full-powered, absolute final strike." His condensed explosive fire bullets instantly trigger an incredibly massive, blinding explosion right there. A moment later, the drone's robotic voice chimes in. "Congratulations on successfully eliminating the demon bat monkey." All three of them are completely exhausted, just collapsing to the ground and gasping for air. "We actually did it. We really just took down a legit D-rank monster." Up above, Chen's gaze is quietly looking right down toward their direction. Xiang Zuo shoots up and says, "Hey Chen, you saw that, right?" He's panting hard but still smirking. "Easy as pie." Chen replies with a calm, knowing smile on his face. "You guys did great." The drone announces again, "Congratulations. Every single lesser monster in this dungeon has been totally cleared out. Now pay attention here." Gonghuan watches the monitors in absolute shock. How is that even possible? A bunch of useless students with zero actual combat experience. He literally can't believe his own eyes. They somehow punched above their weight class and killed a D-rank monster. Yuan Long and Gong Lin see the scene unfold and are just completely left speechless for a moment. Ge finally breaks the heavy silence. This young man's performance really isn't bad at all. He pauses for a quick second, closely watching the expression on Chen's face. Plus, Guy slightly raises an eyebrow and says, "He looks a lot like an old acquaintance of mine." He chuckles. "His name is Chen? I'll remember that." Hearing those exact words, Gong Lin's eyebrows unconsciously furrow in deep suspicion. Gong Huan flinches hard, shooting a guilty, panicked look right back over his shoulder. Seeing things getting tense, he quickly speaks up to try and smooth over the awkward vibe. "Everyone, look at this quickly." Gong Huan loudly deflects. The other team that picked the D-rank dungeon has already pushed to the center zone. Shirai gently pushes up his glasses. Their coordination is as smooth as flowing water, honestly no different from a fully professional, high-level guild squad. Ge immediately chimes in, agreeing, "Oh, very interesting. The quality of this year's graduating students really isn't bad at all. The corner of Gong Huan's mouth instinctively twitches up. The real battle has only just begun. I know what you're thinking, but the best part is still ahead. Right then, warning alarms blare. High danger D-rank dungeon, Poison Valley, entering the toxic spore miasma zone. D-rank flower warrior Fan thinks fast, using her flower chant, Song of Decay skill to launch a counterattack. She instantly steps up to help Yanlin gather his magical energy. The second the Star Mage's astral guide fully charges, he calls out for his captain. The moment he speaks, Gong Ting flashes right into the scene. Showing zero mercy, he unleashes his core warrior technique, Crimson Blaze Severing, to totally finish them off. Gong Ting calmly sheathes his glowing sword and looks right over at Yan Lin. Watching the fading flames, he thinks to himself, the monsters in this school exam are exactly the same ones we faced during our private training sessions. Dealing with them is just way too easy. He figures it out. The graduation exam was completely rigged by the Gong family from the very start. Makes you think, right? Pick the right powerful backing, and your path in life becomes an absolute breeze. Ngan Lam is totally confident. Stick with me, because they think they've got first place in the bag. Then his teammate points the way out. Time to go hunt the boss over here. Freezing winds whip past them. Tu Chen squints against the biting cold, scanning his freezing surroundings. Seeing nothing but a massive whiteout, Ma Long shouts over the wind. They actually did it. They finally reached the very peak of this B-rank dungeon. Everyone's eyes lock onto their target, the B-rank ice demon ape. The warrior of the group? Terrified, hiding right in the back. Is that really the final boss? Xiang Zuo is just staring at it, completely speechless. One slap from that thing? Yeah, I'd get wiped from existence 10 times over. But right as he says that, the beast's glowing red eyes snap directly toward them. Ma Long absolutely loses it, screaming, "It's looking right at us!" The ice demon ape doesn't even hesitate. It charges straight ahead. But Tu Chen? Zero hesitation. He steps up and delivers a massive kick, sending the giant ape flying backwards in an instant. The monster practically hovers in midair for a second. Then, a terrifying surge of raw power completely invades its entire body. Half a second later, boom. The ape's entire body instantly vaporizes into thin air. Ma Long turns to look, absolutely stunned. You really just handled that boss so easily again? In a flash, the system notification pops up. Plus 200 experience points. Ice ape skin acquired. Tu Chen narrows his eyes, suspicious. Weird. Taking down the final boss of a B-rank dungeon only gives this much experience? And the item drop is literally this pathetic? Makes no sense. While he's thinking it over, Xiang Zuo's voice suddenly rings out. Holy crap, so many magic crystals. He waves frantically at the rest of the team. Hey guys, get over here and look. Xiang Zuo says the giant ape hid a stash of crystals inside a tree hollow. Look at the size of these, they're mid-level magic crystals at least. He excitedly adds on to his discovery. If we just sell these outside, we are set for life. But now watch closely here. Seeing Xiang Zuo reach out, Tu Chen urgently yells, "Wait, stop!" But unfortunately, his greed was just a little faster than Tu Chen's warning. The very second Xiang Zuo's hand touches the stash, a massive blast of wind explodes outward. Even Tu Chen gets caught in the heavy blowback. An ice mage's hidden frost bomb was triggered by mistake. In an instant, the entire team is completely frozen in solid blocks of ice. Outside, the monitors quickly flash a red warning. Tu Chen's team has lost signal. Gong Xuan sneers at the screen. They actually fell for it. High-level monsters have real intelligence. And trash will always be trash. They'll spend their whole lives just dragging down the people around them. Looks like their graduation exam is officially over right here. Someone suddenly asks out loud, "In this situation, the students' lives are in actual danger, right?" The man replies with a totally fake, flattering tone. "Oh, definitely. Saving them comes first. Guess the guild forces have to step in now. We have to stop their test here." But suddenly, Yuan Long interrupts. "Just give them a little more time." He adds that the bracelets are tracking their vitals. Right now, their life signs are completely normal. Let that sink in for a second. Plus, the system hasn't detected any intention from them to forfeit the exam yet. Yuan Long continues talking. The right to choose should stay in the candidate's hands. Back inside, Ma Long is freezing, sneezing non-stop from the biting cold air. He's practically crying, thinking to himself, "Thank God I'm an ice class 2, so I've got at least some natural resistance to this frost." Otherwise, our whole team would have been totally wiped out. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoes through the dead silence. Ma Long hears it and instantly looks up to see what's coming. He stares at the sight before him, completely and utterly horrified. Wait, is this guy the actual true boss of this dungeon? Ma Long remembers seeing him in the monster guide, an ice mage with crazy crowd control. And trust me, you'll want to see this fight. It has killer attack skills, controlling ice and snow like a complete menace. You and I are about to see this monster torture its prey, as he recalls its name. A C-rank boss, the Sea Icebone King. Mage Ma Long quickly runs for his life. That massive ice bomb from earlier? Yeah, definitely a calculated trap set by this guy. This is a super rare C-rank boss-level monster. Facing this absolute beast alone? Zero chance of winning. He looks at everyone trapped in solid ice and realizes he has to move right now. But then, Ma Long barely takes a few steps before a sharp ice branch brutally pierces right through his leg. He collapses hard onto the freezing ground. The Bone King just watches, letting out a twisted, evil smirk. A system notification blares out, warning of a critical piercing wound detected on his left leg. Will he quit the exam? Watch closely, because his next decision is where things get wild. He completely refuses. He has to unfreeze Chen right now. He immediately starts breaking down the massive ice block, trapping Chen. If he can just recover, they still have a fighting chance. But right at that moment, another deadly ice branch shoots toward them. The second Ma Long falls down. The system announces that the purification process has failed. Seeing this pathetic scene unfold, the Bone King throws back its head and laughs maniacally. It continuously spams its deadly ice bone spike magic attack. The system warning keeps screaming danger, extreme danger ahead. Heart rate skyrocketing, a severe piercing wound is detected in his right arm. Give up the exam? Hearing those exact words, he just violently grits his teeth together in pure frustration. Give up now? Ma Long suddenly remembers. Because every single time he faced hardship and pure fear, he ran away. That is exactly why he was always left behind, ignored, constantly mocked, brutally bullied, and treated like total garbage. Every painful memory comes rushing back right now. They risked everything to get here. I know what you are thinking. He is finally stepping up, grabbing this one huge chance to change his destiny. Ma Long forces himself up, shouting that he will absolutely never surrender like this. He starts activating his special technique, the origin of transformation. Moments pass, and Ma Long desperately keeps trying to unfreeze Chen from the ice. The Bone King seizes the perfect opening, launching an endless barrage of freezing ice spears. He ignores the danger completely, stubbornly pushing through the pain to shatter that solid ice. Ma Long fights for every single second against those terrifyingly cold, flying ice spears. Even in his final moments, he simply refuses to give up. In a flash, Chen is finally freed from the ice. He quickly regains his senses and instantly activates the Flash Spirit move. The Bone King spots a sudden shadow appearing out of nowhere and completely freezes up. Chen heavily rushes over to check on Ma Long. He looks up, frowning tightly. Did you actually manage to break the control effect all by yourself? He replies, no, you helped a ton. Are those awful wounds on you okay? Ma Long says it is not serious. The bleeding already stopped. He shares the intel that monster is a C-rank ice boss, the Sea Ice Bone King, and it is insanely strong. We absolutely cannot let him freeze us again under any circumstances. Suddenly, both of them are completely stunned for a second. Right in front of them is the ultimate ice explosion magic conjured by the Bone King. It just keeps letting out this eerie, demonic laugh. Ma Long flinches in absolute panic. How can it unleash such a massive ice bomb? How are they supposed to dodge something this ridiculously huge? The Bone King's raw power spreads everywhere, turning the entire surrounding area into a blinding, terrifying whiteout. Then it nonchalantly laughs with absolute, pure joy. Suddenly, it senses a terrifying aura and turns. That is where we leave it, trust me. You and I are going to want to see what happens next. Stick with me here. Chen hits level 16, rocking his Funeral Flame King and Undead Warrior titles. Add in his Frost Physique, granting him complete immunity to the freezing temperatures around them. All his resistances just skyrocket. The Bone King watches this power surge and literally drops its jaw. Ma Long is completely baffled. What on earth is that insane aura radiating from Chen? He is supposed to be a lightning assassin, right? Ma Long mutters to himself in pure disbelief. Is he one of those one-in-a-million prodigies? Looking closely at him, Ma Long finally figures it out. 2 classes. Switching classes in the middle of battle, Chen speaks up. My bad. I totally misjudged the situation earlier, which dragged you 3 right into this deadly mess. His eyes turn deadly cold. But I promise you, that is definitely not happening again. Right at that moment, the level 16 Chen fully completes his Purgatory Rakshasa class change. I am going to finish this guy right now. Now watch closely. Ma Long stands completely frozen in absolute, mind-numbing shock over this. Normally, an awakened can only unlock a single combat class in their entire life. But there is a crazy 1 in 10 million chance for someone to actually awaken 2 of them. These incredibly rare anomalies are known globally as dual-class holders. Looking across the entire world, there are currently less than 10 of them in existence. The second a genius like this gets discovered, every major guild will fight tooth and nail to recruit them on the spot. He realizes in pure terror that Chen, he actually possesses all of them. Ma Long is violently flooded with memories. One class appears clearly, then a second one. Snapping back to reality, the absolute truth hits him like a truck. 3 distinct classes. And the craziest part? Every single one feels terrifyingly overpowered, Ma Long thinks to himself. Right at this exact moment, Chen and the Bone King violently clash, their terrifying energies exploding against each other. He does not hesitate at all, charging straight ahead for a brutal, direct collision. Ma Long watches, completely stunned. You felt it too, right? That monster radiated terrifying pressure while he quietly observed the battle earlier. But facing the blade of Chen, Ma Long watches his ruthless execution and feels pure, absolute terror. The threat vanishes completely as the Bone King shatters into 100 exploding pieces of bone. Once the dust finally settles, Chen has already leveled up to 17. Ma Long scans the absolute wreckage around them and just sighs in pure disbelief. He blurts out, "You absolute beast. Bro, you just one-shot a rank C lord." Chen simply turns and asks, "Those 2 are still frozen solid, right? Do you have enough energy left to thaw them out?" Hearing that, Ma Long freezes up. Oh crap. Ma Long frantically sprints over. I totally forgot about Xiang Zuo and Xiang Yu. Hang in there, guys. Suddenly, the system announces an assimilation target is available. Seeing his chance, Chen wastes absolutely no time and unleashes his power to assimilate the fallen Bone King. He clenches his fist tight, leaving absolutely 0 openings. The second the assimilation is complete, Chen checks his status screen and smirks. New class acquired Undead Mage. This is his first time assimilating a class outside the dream world. The intense glow in his eyes slowly fades by the second. Chen quietly analyzes the situation. The camera drones were frozen solid by that ice bomb earlier, so his true power is definitely safe from the public. Plus, there is plenty of time left to easily grab a perfect score. Suddenly, fresh system data flashes right in front of his face. His class proficiency has leveled up, and he just earned a brand new Lightning Assassin star. That means extra attribute points. He stares at the screen, practically unable to believe his own eyes. I got a star? Trust me, we are not done. Meanwhile, Gong Ting and his team are fighting a brutal battle. Yan Lin cannot take it anymore and screams for backup. Is this really the strength of a rank D boss? Hey, you guys better start hitting harder. Let's jump right into the madness. His teammate over here is totally losing control. Its defense is way too insane. They absolutely cannot break through that shield. The massive carnivorous plant just lunges right forward to attack, and in a flash, it knocks the whole squad flat on their backs. I can't hold it back anymore, his teammate struggles to say. Even during all their past training, they have never faced a monster with this much power. What do we do now? Ingan Lam turns and asks. Our only hope left is the captain. So how is Captain Kung Din holding up anyway? He just glances back at them and asks if the power charge is finally ready. Kung Din's raw strength and stamina absolutely skyrocket in an instant. That's enough, he declares, stepping right up to sweep the entire battlefield clean. Now don't blink here. He completely obliterates every single obstacle, charging right at that massive carnivorous plant. Kung Din puts everything he has into a massive slashing attack. His energy quickly explodes right outward. It's a warrior class skill, Wrath Explosion, radiating an absolutely massive wave of intense, raw aura. Everyone watching is totally blown away by this. The captain is way too strong. He completely lives up to the title. Pure peak performance, man. The captain is so cool. Ron runs over to announce that Kung Din's squad has successfully cleared the whole dungeon. A D rank zone, total time 35 minutes. Ngan Lam says, getting totally hyped up. They beat a D-rank dungeon in just over half an hour. A record like this? Nobody is ever going to beat it. He literally screams out that they cleared it way under the 1 hour mark. Plus, a D-rank zone gives a 3 times multiplier. That means their final score is a massive 150 points in total. A perfect score. Absolute perfection. They just completely smashed the Academy's historical record. Let's go check out the scoreboard, Kung Than says, flashing a super arrogant smirk. Even for an F-rank dungeon, the lowest possible level around. It would take anyone else at least a full hour to clear it. He laughs out loud, bragging to everyone. Anyone who managed to leave the dungeon this early, other than their own squad, they must be the useless losers who gave up early. Meanwhile, the other students in the room are having a complete panic attack. Don't let the monster kill me. Calm down, man, we already made it out of the dungeon alive. Nobody can shake off the brutal scenes they just witnessed. Way too terrifying. Those monsters were absolute, pure nightmare fuel. I know what you're thinking. Kung Than's eyes suddenly lock right onto Tu Tran's squad. Right away, he flashes this disgusting, mocking smirk. Kung Than looks him up and down, calling out Tu Tran. Assuming they obviously retreated early, he immediately marches right over to start running his mouth. If it isn't Tu Tran, Kung Than says, speaking completely out of line. What, couldn't even finish the exam today? Weren't you acting super tough just a little while ago? Just as he is about to keep insulting him, Kung Din cuts him off with a strict order. Kung Than, get back here right now. He spots the vice president approaching them. Time to go say hello. Right at that moment, the sound of clapping echoes out. Vice President Kak's voice rings out. Absolutely brilliant, just brilliant. He smiles warmly, saying that today he truly got to witness one undeniably incredible performance. Beyond outstanding. After saying that, the VIP group just keeps walking straight ahead. Kung Than whispers quietly, realizing this is the man himself. The guy standing at the absolute peak of world power, and he's coming right over, heading right toward them. Seeing this, Kung Din slowly reaches his hand out, totally ready to be praised. But reality is about to slap him hard, and we are completely here for it. Kak walks right past him, straight up to Tu Tran, and says, truly, truly unexpected. He pats the kid right on the shoulder, openly praising him for clearing a D-rank dungeon in only 21 minutes. Kak adds that even a fully grown pro-guild couldn't pull that off. Trust me, you and I just witnessed something absolutely incredible. Hearing these exact words, Kung Than simply cannot believe his ears. Wait, what? Those 4 total losers actually managed to clear a D-rank dungeon, and they did it in just 21 minutes? The guys standing right behind casually smile with pure joy and say, hello, Vice President. Tu Tran stays completely calm, quietly thinking about this guy Cavendish. He is the Vice President of the Global Guild Alliance, practically the second most powerful man alive. Why on earth is he even here? He asks, your name is Tu Tran, right? This entire trip was completely useless. Then he suddenly turns around and says, oh right. The noble Kung family son also did quite well, leading a team to crush a D-rank dungeon at such a young age. Guild leader Kung Lam is truly an outstanding mentor. Like father, like son, Kung Lam quickly replies back, Vice President, you are praising us way too much. Right after saying that, he shoots a very sharp glare straight at Kung Din. He just laughs and says, it is getting pretty late, I should head back now. Watch closely here. You can hear the whole crowd whispering. Principal, you old man, you really hit the absolute jackpot today. These two are literal once-in-a-millennium superstars. Kung Huyen lets out an awkward cough. Ahem. All right then. Next I will announce the final exam results for both teams. Since we actually have 2 perfect max scores for this test, I am officially declaring both of your teams tied for first place. Every single member from both squads is now fully qualified to join the Imperial Guild. Ma Long grabs Tu Tran in a massive hug. Imperial Guild. We actually managed to make it right into the prestigious Imperial Guild. Kung Din and his team are also absolutely thrilled. Straight out of graduation and totally set for life, this is a massive step up. Kung Huyen quickly adds, as for our 2 captains, Kung Din and Tu Tran will be given core management roles within the Imperial Guild, plus an equal split of the 1 million MVP bonus cash. You saw that too, right? Hearing this, both guys instantly frown. He silently calculates in his head, only 500,000? I promised Thon Tree 1 million back within a single month. Do I really have to ask for an extension? I just have to find a way to make another 500,000 fast. While Tu Tran is deep in thought, Kung Din speaks up. First place can only belong to one single person, and we only need one. He glares at him with absolute determination. I want to fight you one-on-one. The exact moment Kung Din finishes speaking, every single pair of eyes immediately locks right onto him. Even the absolute highest-ranking officials are totally shocked by what he just declared out loud. Kung Huyen completely panics and rushes over, whispering, "What kind of nonsense are you saying? The exam is officially over. The most logical solution is having both teams tie for first. Besides, what if Tu Tran does not even agree to this? He is about to keep lecturing when he gets completely cut off. If I actually win..." Tu Tran raises an eyebrow and says, "The entire 1 million belongs to me." Kung Huyen hears this and violently chokes. Kung Din replies completely deadpan, "If you can actually beat me, then take it all." He slightly smirks. This is getting very, very interesting. His face lights up with pure excitement. "You and I know this show is not over." Tu Tran steps up and asks, "Tell me, how do we do this?" A moment later in a private room, Thon Tri smiles and says, "I honestly thought you only had the skills to simply rank. Stick with me here, you are about to watch him casually break the record with perfect scores." The guy adds that right now, the press is going absolutely wild over him. "Looks like my early choice was incredibly smart and totally spot on. That 1.5 million debt? You do not have to pay it back. Just consider that money as my personal seed investment in your massive potential." Thon Tri notices his silence and quickly calls out, "Mr. Tu Chen." He finally looks up and speaks up. "No, any money I owe you will absolutely be repaid." Tu Chen continues talking. "I actually came here today to discuss 2 specific things with you." With a dead serious look, he asks for a 1-week extension on his loan repayment deadline. "Because of a tie for first place, I actually got 500,000 less than I originally expected. So I will be taking a private makeup exam head-to-head against that other top student. It happens exactly 1 week from now inside the Wild Demon Cave outside school." Hearing this insane plan, Thon Tri is completely caught off guard. Now, pay attention. 2 students entering a wild demon cave? That is absolute madness. His voice panics. "You guys have not even done guild training yet. That is way too dangerous." Tu Chen interrupts him quickly. "Do not worry. Once I win that makeup test next week, I will secure the remaining 500,000. Plus, I will happily hand over every single raw material to you. Whatever I gather in the demon cave counts as interest for the 1-week extension." Thon Tri slowly pushes up his glasses, analyzing the situation quietly. This kid feels absolutely zero fear about stepping into the wild demon cave. Instead, he is just calculating debts and interest. This guy is truly built different. Tu Chen sets down his glass. "Besides that, I actually came here today for one more thing. Something much more important." The heavy words just start pouring out of him completely naturally. And that completely horrifies the older guy. Tu Chen's dead serious tone echoes. It feels like the air itself turns incredibly heavy. Thon Tri listens closely, his pupils shrinking back instantly. Those absolutely shocking words just keep ringing out through the dead silent room. We both felt that. He cannot handle it and jumps straight up. June 17th afternoon, right at Thon Tui High School in Thuong Thuong District. Tu Yun stretches out happily. Finally, the absolute last exam is totally finished. The girl takes out her phone to check notifications. Next up is summer vacation. Tu Yun suddenly remembers something important and completely freezes up. "Oh yeah, right." She checks the time on her phone and mumbles to herself. "Today is also my older brother's graduation exam." Flashback, 4 years ago. Tu Chen proudly shows off his amazing test results. "Tu Yun, they completely discovered elemental potential inside me. I just got accepted into the National Awakener University right now." She smiles and speaks excitedly. "So are you just exactly like our parents? About to become a real awakener?" He nods. "Yeah, then I can definitely join a massive guild. I will make big money to give you a much better life." Tu Chen looks at Tu Yun with total determination. "Plus, maybe, I can uncover the actual truth about our parents disappearing." She beams with absolute joy and praises him. "You are amazing. My brother is the absolute best. You will definitely become a super powerful awakener." But cut to recently, Tu Chen sits there completely depressed and sighs. "Final year and I still have not awakened?" He pulls himself together, comforting his own heart. "It is totally fine." Tu Chen forces a bright smile. "Looks like I just need to try much harder." Tu Yun remembers, right after entering the Awakener University, her older brother was always the hardest working student out of all his peers. But ultimately, He became the only single person who could never manage to awaken. You and I feel that heavy sigh, watching everyone around them successfully awaken. Let's dive right in. She thought he was super lonely, just hiding his pain perfectly. Suddenly, Truk Dong rushes over, bumping Tuvan's shoulder. Hey Tuvan, did you hear? The National Awakening University just produced 2 absolute graduation geniuses this year. Truk Dong explains. They both led their own teams to perfect scores. The Guild Alliance vice president even met them both personally, giving them insanely high praise. They made the breaking news. Our Thuong Thuong district is famous now, she happily adds on. Oh right, doesn't your brother go to that exact school too? Right then, Datan's voice completely interrupts them from out of nowhere. Good afternoon, Tiovan, he smoothly greets her. I booked a VIP room on the Tufong building's top floor. You free at 8 p.m. tonight? Truk Dong hears this and totally freaks out. Whoa, Tuvan. Since when do you know our school's biggest idol? After a second, Tuvan suddenly bolts away. Seeing this, her friend loudly calls out. Hey, why are you running so fast? She thinks, almost crying. Everyone else is getting perfect scores on their graduation exams, making headlines, while her poor brother hasn't even awakened his powers yet. Feeling so bad for him, she decides to rush home and cook a massive comfort meal. Now watch this hilarious misunderstanding unfold. That June 17th night, Tuvan quickly preps everything. A completely massive feast. Tran takes one look and is totally blown away. Tuvan, since when did you whip up this absolute mountain of food? He immediately gasps. Wow, this sukiyaki hot pot smells ridiculously good. Right at that exact second, the TV news anchor starts speaking up. Moving right along to our evening news broadcast. This morning, Dongtan Nation's prestigious National Awakening University successfully wrapped up its intense practical combat graduation exams. The broadcast audio just keeps ringing through the room. Guild Alliance Vice President Gak Cavendish attended personally, having a very friendly chat with the students. Tuvan secretly thinks, sure enough, he's just trying to act totally calm again. Failing the graduation exam is a massive shock for anyone, yet he isn't showing a single drop of sadness. The anchor continues reporting. According to reports, this year's exam featured an insanely rare double champion scenario that is completely unheard of, she adds. 2 absolute genius students led their teams to perfect scores. Vice President Gak highly praised this specific exam session right in front of the media and specially called out to praise one of the 2 top students who led their team to a perfect score. We both saw this coming, right? While she's overthinking, the anchor suddenly announces, Student Tran. Tuvan literally cannot believe her own ears and quickly whips her head around. Stunned, she slowly repeats every single word, a perfect score student Tran. Meanwhile, over on the other side, Kung Lam's dark voice slowly echoes out. I set up the perfect stage for you, he growls, completely losing his mind. I even invited all the right spectators. Kung Lam scowls hard, and yet you completely ruined the performance. He adds, you didn't just fail to win, no, you lost to a nameless nobody. Kung Lam's tone drops dangerously low. From this moment on, you don't get to make decisions anymore. I've already arranged absolutely everything for the makeup exam happening next week. He harshly warns, if you can't get the job done, I'll do it myself. Kung Lam firmly declares, no matter what dirty tricks it takes, first place must belong to our Kung family. While the anchor keeps speaking, you and I know a crazy showdown is next. Alright, let's jump right in. Vice President Ge is raving about Chen's insane performance. He fully hopes Dongxin Nation can keep grinding to cultivate even more top-tier talents. Siyun points straight at the television screen. Wait, this guy named Chen they just mentioned. Is that you? He looks up mid-bite and just casually goes, yeah, why? The spoon in her hand immediately hits the floor with a massive clatter. Those words literally hit Siyun like a bolt of lightning. Her brain starts processing. My actual brother in the graduation exam? Her jaw drops completely. Not only getting a perfect score, but actually getting praised by the Guild Alliance vice president. She honestly cannot believe it, completely shocked into absolute silence right then. Her eyes get a little teary. My idiot brother. She looks at him with pure pride he finally made it big. Meanwhile, Chen has no clue what is happening, totally freezing up when she starts crying. June 17th, 2157. The very night after the massive practical exam. Ge just calmly sits there enjoying his meal. The premium Wagyu beef here is seriously the best. He looks up. How are things on your end? He looks over, speaking slowly. Ling Yu directly slides the latest report right in front of him. Here is the full detailed report we have put together so far. Over the past year, it has not left a single trace anywhere. Ling Yu firmly concludes, it probably noticed us already. Hearing this, Ge simply replies, good work, eat some meat first. She continues right on. Also, there is one more thing. Now pay attention closely. Ling Yu reports spotting someone highly suspicious. He actually made direct contact with you not too long ago. His insane power growth in such a short time? Ling Yu thinks aloud. It is completely abnormal. At that exact moment, inside the demon tower, Chen calculates his moves. Half a month on floor 1, wiping out nearly every single monster here. By now, he has perfectly adapted to fighting in 10 times normal gravity without breaking a sweat. Following the graduation battle, his Lightning Assassin class officially earned a shiny new star. Class mastery levels up, earns a star, and allows him to allocate new attribute points. You see that? Just spamming a class naturally boosts its mastery level entirely. In other words, Chen's 4 current classes have not even hit their limits. He dumped that star straight into speed, literally the most crucial assassin stat. Right now, his speed stat alone easily hits a rank assassin levels. Chen pauses for a quick second thinking about this. Even so, he just calmly stares down the phantom spirit lions in front of him. They violently roar out, shattering the absolute dead silence. Chen looks up. He still cannot land a hit on this floor's boss. While he calculates, a phantom lion suddenly charges right at him. Chen instantly triggers his flash step. Streaks of light blast right past the roaring lions, heading straight for the Lion King. This boss Lion King has a seriously weird set of abilities. Every time he finds an opening to strike, it vanishes like a programmed glitch, reappearing next to the lioness furthest away from him. They rapidly adjust their positions based on the situation. But that core formation? It never changes. 2 lionesses always handle the close combat, while 2 others wait far back on standby. And the Lion King always keeps the absolute maximum distance from him, a boss monster that has never actually attacked him once. Makes you wonder, right? What exactly is this Lion King's hidden class anyway? Alright, stick with me. While he's distracted, that phantom beast suddenly attacks. Chen reacts fast, using lightning bolts to block the hit. Just one counterattack. He hits back so hard, it feels the pain in its bones. Then the phantom just vanishes right into thin air, leaving Chen frowning. This fight is getting a lot more annoying than he thought. This trick again. Every single time he tries to kill a lioness, they just disappear, only to pop right back up beside the Lion King. The second Chen stops his attacks, another lioness instantly charges in, totally baiting him into striking back. Chen starts summoning even more intense, raw power. He's not giving up. He attacks relentlessly, giving it his all. But frustratingly, absolutely nothing changes around him. Their formation is insanely strict, absolute perfect teamwork with 0 blind spots. They strike continuously, without an ounce of hesitation, then vanish completely, without a trace. They teleport right to their assigned spots and keep bombarding him with endless attacks. These exact same moves keep repeating for literal hours. An endless loop, trapping him right in an absolute war of attrition. Chen is panting hard now. What a monster. He glares dead at the king. They're clearly just playing with him. But pay attention here, he suddenly realizes something. Wait a minute. He casually thinks to himself, why am I even trying to match their speed? Chen quickly switches his class. His entire body immediately begins to evolve. He stares straight ahead, his eyes looking completely ice cold. If you cowards won't fight me head on, then I'll just use a mage class to completely crush you. Right on cue, the system confirms his class change is complete. He unleashes an Icebone spike attack. Massive barrages of tiny ice beams crash violently into the ground. The phantom lion is terrified now, scrambling back toward its king. Mages might be weak up close, but they absolutely dominate with ranged attrition and crowd control. Out of nowhere, sharp, deadly ice beams suddenly materialize right behind them, all of them aiming straight at the king. But the beast is actually clever. It uses a quick teleportation skill to completely dodge the entire attack flawlessly. However, when they group up in one spot, the entire surrounding space is already covered in pure ice. Chen smirks. I know what you're thinking, he planned this. Once they are forced into his attack range, there is absolutely nowhere left to hide. The Lion King finally looks absolutely terrified. Chen stares them down with fierce focus, and then he unleashes a massive, devastating giant ice bomb right at them. Seeing the danger, it roars in pure panic. But just 1 second later, that sound is completely cut off. The surrounding space slowly starts to return to normal. The Lion King and the Phantom are instantly frozen completely solid. Right after, the system signals another class change is ready. Chen's eyes shine much brighter than ever before. Fighting on floor 1 of the magic tower, he grits his teeth and immediately rushes forward. Time to end this. Chen triggers his 3 generals heavy strike, a super heavy version just to finish the job. After the impact, everything around him falls totally silent. The Phantom Lion slowly fades into nothingness, and the rest of its pack completely vanishes with it. The entire area is completely empty now. And our guy Chen, he successfully levels up to 24. At the same time, the system announces a Devour option. Seeing this, he looks straight at the Lion King without hesitating. Curious, Chen asks, "Now tell me what your actual class is supposed to be?" The beast is quickly sucked right into his glowing light. And then, they completely merge together into one. He tightens his fist around that new system power. You and I both know he's unstoppable now. Boom, the Phantom Spirit Lion King's info pops right up. Stick with me here. He reads it all, realizing this Beast Tamer class is entirely new to him. Chen thinks back. No wonder that thing refused to fight him face to face. Turns out, its own base stats were absolute trash. It had to rely completely on its contracted beasts to deal any real damage. Flashbacks of the crazy battle they just had keep looping in his mind. Chen quietly analyzes the whole situation. That spatial phase ability is insanely useful. His eyes naturally lock onto that specific skill for a second. He figures out it can even force beasts into contracts, but it definitely requires some serious intimidation power first. Looks like getting a contracted beast is going to require much more aggressive methods than he thought. Suddenly, a weird rustling sound nearby totally grabs his attention. Now watch this. The whole environment starts shifting wildly. Chen wonders, is this what the first floor of the Demon Tower is actually supposed to look like? He looks around at the absolute wasteland and mutters, completely barren. What the heck actually happened down here? Right at that moment, a bright light sparks up in the distance. Chen sees it and instantly knows the door to floor 2 is finally here. But wait, a glowing purple gaze suddenly flashes behind him. He feels the chilling aura and immediately turns around to look. His eyes lock onto a mysterious creature fading in and out of the shadows. Little Leo glares right back at him with pure hostility. Chen immediately unleashes his killer aura. To think a tiny lion actually survived all that, he slowly walks right toward it. Looks like this little guy is the only one left alive. He thinks to himself, I just killed the Lion King. But this cub didn't fade away. That proves it wasn't one of the boss's contracted beasts. Stepping closer, he gets surprised. It's bound by star chains. Did the Phantom Lion King actually imprison this little guy here? Not wasting any time, Chen instantly summons Heavenly Thunder. Leo panics as the blinding light suddenly strikes down, completely shattering the chains wrapped tight around its tiny body. The sudden release shocks Leo, sending the cub tumbling face first into the dirt. He mutters softly, "Well, there you go. You are finally free now." Then he looks around and guesses, "This place was probably your original home, right? I know what you're thinking. This hits way too close to home. Dead friends, destroyed homeland." Chen totally understands that deep pain. Leo stares up blankly at his sad face. He keeps talking. "It's lonely, but you have to keep living your best life. I need to head up to the next floor now." He only takes a few steps before a system window suddenly pops up. The notification says Chen just received a rare beast contract request. Seeing that, he immediately spins around to look at the cub. The system keeps asking, "Form a contract with the Lion King? Leo is requesting to sign a contract with you. Do you accept this?" Chen glances at the tiny beast and asks, "You want to follow me?" Leo lets out a soft little growl, answering his question directly. Chen explains carefully, "I'm going to clear every single floor next. I'll conquer this entire demon tower, and with every floor, the monsters are going to get way more violent." He emphasizes the danger. "We could get badly hurt, or even die. Have you really thought this through?" But in response, Leo stands tall with fierce determination. Chen closes his eyes and answers with a soft voice, "I understand." Then he opens his intensely fiery eyes and finally agrees to sign the beast contract. The cub's bright eyes are immediately drawn right to his gaze. Lion King Leo contract complete. The little guy's stat screen instantly pops up, showing its brand new passive skill fully activated. Trust me, you and I are going to love this duo. He waves his hand. Alright, let's go. Just protect yourself when I fight. We see two trans strong body. Stick with me, you and I are about to dive into absolute madness. Stepping through the portal, his eyes show pure, intense resolve. Right in front of them, a massive landscape of boiling, flowing lava. Chen gasps. It is way too hot, feeling like he's literally melting alive. Meanwhile, little Leo actually tries to touch the lava. Chen turns his back, muttering to himself, what kind of monster is waiting on this floor? Suddenly, a blinding flash of light erupts, completely wiping out their vision. Chen's eyes instantly lock into danger mode. But before he can even react, something brutally impales straight through his entire body. His eyes go blank, falling into a state of absolute, complete shock. Right at that nightmare moment, he snaps awake in his bed. Chen feels completely sick. He got killed instantly before even seeing the enemy. What kind of terrifying combat power was that? He frowns, heavily frustrated. I know you're wondering the same thing, what monster is on floor 2? Suddenly, Siyun calls out, come out and eat! A perfectly prepared, massive breakfast feast is already laid out on the table. Chen smiles, praising her. This breakfast is seriously amazing. The little girl reminds him, remember to wash the dishes when you finish. Also, hang up the laundry in 30 minutes. Chen looks concerned. Siyun, where are you rushing off to so early? Isn't it summer vacation? Siyun just replies, I'm going to my summer job. He hears this and looks totally surprised. Huh? Didn't I already tell you? Just let me handle all the money stuff. She turns around, smiling brightly. My big brother is already successful, so I can't fall behind either. Plus, having too much free time in the summer gets boring. Then Siyun shuts the door. I am off. Remember to wash those dishes. A little while later, water pours over the dirty plates in the sink. Chen continues doing his chores, hanging up the laundry. But his eyes look incredibly sad. Siyun is always like this. Chen stares at a photo of them together. No matter what happens, she stays strong and keeps fighting. She is obviously just a kid who hasn't grown up yet, but around her, I feel like the one being taken care of. He sits there, holding the photo for a very long time. Chen makes a promise to himself. After handling the academy stuff, I will go deal with the Wrath Demon King. I'll be away from Siyun for a really long stretch of time. Let's pause right here. Siyun is honestly the only person he actually worries about. Suddenly, Chen's eyes light up. That is it. He touches his head, focusing his power. Maybe I can actually do this. Right then, a spatial portal opens up, and Leo drops out. Chen turns his head, totally shocked. His jaw drops open in pure disbelief. He can actually summon his contract beast from the dream tower into reality. Moments later, little Leo is causing absolute chaos inside his apartment. He thinks, if this works, I can have Leo follow and protect Siyun while I am gone. If she runs into danger, I will sense it instantly and rush right over. The more he thinks about it, he smiles. She always loved cats and dogs. Swapping that for a lion cub should be fine, right? Suddenly, a massive crash echoes right beside Chen. With an awkward expression, he slowly steps over to look. Seeing Leo absolutely wrecking the place, he mutters, yeah, she'll probably accept this. The dark night slowly falls. Twilight shadows cover everything. A smashed security camera sparks wildly, shooting out tiny bolts of electricity. In the corner, someone screams in pure agony. Do not come any closer. His voice shakes with absolute terror. What the hell are you? But then, a brutal stab completely impales his body. He gasps in extreme pain. What kind of monster is this? His pupils dilate in horror. Trust me, you're going to want to see what happens next. He's swallowed whole in secret, while Siyun walks down an empty street. Alright, stick with me. The tired girl finally clocks out. Pouring boba all summer day for massive crowds? She is absolutely dead on her feet. Tuvan walks home, wondering if her brother will even like this specific flavor. Her small silhouette steps quietly into a dark corner, looking incredibly lonely all by herself. Suddenly, a voice from behind startles her completely. He says she finally arrived. A fancy bouquet appears with the creepy voice. Finally, you are here. Datan smirks, claiming he waited forever. He reminds Tuvan she left school quickly. You completely ignored my date invite, but hey, do not even worry. Tonight, I booked the entire rooftop of the Tu Fong building just for us. Tuvan glares darkly. How do you know I live around here? Datan heavily sighs and brags. My dad is the hospital director anyway. For the #1 university hospital, pulling these tiny strings is absolute child's play. Tuvan turns away. We are not from the same world. Watch closely now. He completely ignores her and aggressively grabs her wrist. Datan snaps angrily. Do you know how much effort booking that rooftop actually takes? I even invited a ton of my rich friends. Rejecting me means giving zero respect. Tuvan immediately turns back to question his logic. Why should I respect you? Also, stalking outside someone's house is just pure pervert behavior. His voice drops dangerously low. A pervert? Who do you think you are? Me chasing you is doing you a massive favor. Datan aggressively threatens her. 1 single minute is all I need to ruin you. But Tuvan is completely fed up. She fiercely headbutts Datan right there. She scolds him. Go to your dad's hospital and get your own brain checked first. Tuvan strictly emphasizes, never ever bother me again. You completely ruined my mood. The scene transitions to Tutron's brightly lit apartment. Tuvan lifts Leo up and gasps. She hugs the little beast super tightly. Brother, where did you buy this adorable magical beast? He introduces the cub as Leo. You can raise him now, she happily exclaims. Wow, I really get a baby lion? Tuvan wonders out loud. Wait, I thought only adult male lions grow manes. Why does tiny little Leo have such a long mane? She keeps happily rambling on. Whatever. Tomorrow I will handle the magical beast adoption papers and officially register Leo's residence. I know what you're thinking. Tuvan is absolutely obsessed with Leo. Now he has nothing to worry about at home. Suddenly, Tutron's phone rings. He stares thoughtfully at the glowing screen. A very subtle smirk forms on his lips. The screen clearly displays the Guild Supervision Management Bureau. Hello. After very serious evaluation, your application has finally been officially approved. For any further questions, please contact the Guild Supervision Management Bureau directly. Have a wonderful day. He feels deeply satisfied. The application is finally successful. Now his master plan can proceed flawlessly. Tutron's expression hardens with pure determination. Next step, absolute victory. The scene shifts. 6 days later. The date is June 24th, 2157. Retake exam day, 1510. City outskirts, light forest. Kung Huyan speaks up. Attention you two candidates. Next, I will explain your official exam content. He calmly explains, after the academy discussed things thoroughly. That's where we leave it, a wild demon cave survival retake exam. Alright, stick with me. We are dropping straight into a rank D wild dungeon forest. Kung Huyan makes it clear. Per their deal, both guys will take this exam in the exact same dungeon. His steady voice echoes through the area. The environment inside a wild dungeon is completely unpredictable and unknown. It is way more dangerous than any basic academy training ground. So, 3 high-ranking guild members from Dongtan country are tagging along as official judges. Kung Huyan continues explaining. They will follow both candidates inside, keeping them safe while grading them in real time. Then, his stern voice rings out again. The judges' scores decide the final result. Opposite him, Kung Lam gets this completely wicked look. You 3 judges better do this perfectly and leave absolutely no traces. Over here, someone asks, Hey Vice President, your schedule in Dongtan ended 2 days ago, so why are you still hanging around? Kak replies, What is more entertaining than the show about to happen right here? The big screen displays Tutron standing right there. Honestly, you and I have been waiting forever for a genius showdown just like this. Kung Huyan raises his hand. I officially announce. He shouts, the extra combat exam for the class of 2157, National Awakening University, featuring Tutron versus Kung Din. Both of their faces look fiercely determined. Then Kung Huyan's voice echoes, officially begin. Tutron steps smoothly right through the spatial portal. He keeps moving forward with light, silent footsteps. Tutron scans the area sharply. Tai Nu analyzes, dead trees everywhere, definitely a plant-type dungeon. Wanna smoke? Shh. Keep it down. We are official judges here. The cameras are still rolling. Suddenly, a bright red light flashes before him. An alarm sound totally startles Tutron. It is a danger warning. High-level monster detected. Tutron is shocked. First time seeing the demon heart issue a warning. The system chimes in. The warning just completely vanished. A high-tier beast in a D-rank zone? We both know that means trouble. Faint smoke drifts under an old tree. Kung Din takes the lead with him following behind. Tai Nu notes, this fog is thick. Sato orders, stay alert. Watch the candidates. Suddenly, a bizarre creature crawls up right behind them. It is a toxic, hairy ant monster. Kung Din instantly draws his sword, and then he dashes forward as fast as the wind. Sato nods in approval. Kung Din has some seriously lightning-fast reflexes, but the monsters inside these wild, untamed dungeons are way stronger than academy ones. They are brutal and pure evil. Over there, it blasts a highly corrosive poison shot. Kung Din's counterattack is totally decisive, moving so fast it leaves everyone absolutely stunned. The toxic ant gets smashed straight into the dirt. His sword glows brightly as he readies it. He plunges the blade straight into the beast. Kung Din unleashes his ultimate finishing move, Destruction Blade Explosion. Those three judges stand high above, closely watching Kung Din fight. Tai Nu checks his stopwatch and remarks, "So what do you and I rate this?" Instantly dodging, ranged attacks, and countering perfectly. An easy 10 out of 10. Ivan chimes in next. In just seconds, he found and sliced off the monster's ranged poison gland completely. Let's dive in. Target neutralized. His combat logic? A perfect 10. Sato chimes in, watching the decisive finishing move land without a single second of hesitation. A clean one-shot kill. Finishing power? 10 out of 10. Sato breaks it down: movement, crowd control, and the finisher. Surgical precision. And he did this against a D-rank beast in a totally wild demon cave, no less. For a student to stay this calm and decisive in battle? Honestly, it is an absolutely stellar performance. He glances over. But as for the other candidate, Chen, Sato just heavily scoffs. When the monster showed up, he didn't even react at all. Just wandering around aimlessly. A total failure of a performance right there. But down below, Gong Ting stays completely dead silent. The screen shifts, and Chen's silhouette appears. Someone asks Yuan Long, "What on earth do you think this kid is even looking for?" He answers, "He's hunting for something." Meanwhile, we see Chen's boots crunching deep into the mud. Yuan Long smirks at the screen. He's looking for the fastest way to score points. Suddenly, sparks ignite around Chen. Found it. He slams his raw power straight down into the dirt. A massive explosion erupts, completely out of nowhere. An endless swarm of monsters gets blasted right out of hiding by his sheer force. Taiyu is stunned. Did he strike a nest? Pay attention here, because Sato's jaw completely drops at this madness. Those are D-rank beasts right there. Doing that is going to get absolutely everyone killed. Even Gong Ting is reeling. Is this guy really going all in? His foot pivots hard on the dirt. Chen unleashes a terrifyingly violent wave of power, Flash God technique. That overwhelming force instantly crushes the entire horde of beasts into the ground. They take absolutely massive, crippling damage from Chen's devastating wild strike. He dragged out a whole swarm just to completely obliterate them, and with one final blow, Chen ends it all. One by one, they drop dead. The examiner can't believe it, slowly reaching up to take off his glasses. What did he just do, Sato? Didn't the official evaluation report state that this kid was only E rank? Yet he's punching way above his tier, slaughtering so many D-rank beasts. This power level is just completely off the charts. Ivan mutters, what can you even say? You and I both know they absolutely cannot give this guy a low score now. He grits his teeth. Maybe we say he acted way too recklessly, or call his moves too basic? Over there, Gong Ting suddenly calls out for Chen. Everyone watching from this side immediately bursts out laughing. Looks like the old man completely nailed that prediction. He grins happily. The exam just started and we're already getting this level of intense action. How incredibly fun. How will Gong Ting react next? A fist clenches tight, trembling with pure, unfiltered rage right there on screen. The monitor they are watching suddenly glitches and fades out. Finally, it just displays a total lost connection signal. Yuan Long frowns in confusion. Why is the video signal acting up again? Scene cuts elsewhere. At 16 hours outside the demon cave, blaring alarm sirens suddenly start echoing everywhere. Abnormal signal detected. The monitors are flashing blood red with non-stop warnings. Gong Huan is left completely stunned. What? Someone screams in the background. What the hell is happening to this cave? A strange blue light engulfs the space, leaving absolutely everyone in pure panic. The entrance just completely vanished. Back inside, Chen is still completely focused on his own business. Suddenly, his eyes go wide and he just freezes. This as Chen realizes the roar of a furious demon king. Back outside at 16 hours, Gong Huan screams, "The cave entrance is entirely gone." A scientist yells back, "We still don't know the situation." Equipment suddenly throws crazy abnormal signals. Then he panics and shouts out, "Call HQ for backup right now." Did something catastrophic happen inside? Stick around, because this absolute chaos leaves everyone completely paralyzed with fear. Stick with me here, because things just took a crazy turn. Gongding goes completely silent. Tainu asks, "Do you guys hear that?" Sato replies, "Yeah, there is definitely a noise." They yell out, "Wait, that music." Chen instantly recognizes the Wrath Demon King's signature sound. He is totally freaking out. Why on earth is the Wrath Demon sound playing right here? Wasn't this guy supposed to show up 3 years from now? Suddenly, mechanical alarms start blaring. Warning, dangerous monster approaching. Chen tightly narrows his eyes. His demon heart pulses another warning. Bizarre glowing runes suddenly light up across the ground. There is something right behind them. Bone-chilling noises just keep echoing through the thick air. Staring into the heavy gloom, Sato stays on high alert. What the hell is in that fog? Slowly but surely, the blurry silhouette starts coming into sharp focus. A terrifying monster reveals itself, with eyes burning bright, like literal hellfire. It lets out a sick laugh with a creepy voice. "You humans fell for the trap." Sato panics and throws a wild punch backward. This freakish thing is actually talking. He just stands there cursing his head off in pure rage. Any monster that can speak human language has to be an upper C-rank boss. Why is a boss like this inside a D-rank dungeon? Sato quickly jumps down below. "Pay attention here. You and I know this level of beast is way too deadly." He stands right in front of Gongding and Chen. "Get behind me right now." But in that exact split second, a deep, bloody gash just appears on Sato's wrist. As the monster blurs right past him, his entire arm gets sliced clean off. That brutal scene leaves Tainu and Ivan completely horrified. After pulling that off, the monster loudly announces its next move. "All of you." In a flash, its razor-sharp claws stab straight through Gongding's body. The monster drops a deadly promise. "You will all die right here." Caught totally off guard by the sudden strike, he violently winces in pain. But Gongding does not quit, instantly using his sword to fight back. That crazy defiance actually makes the monster pause for a second. Following up, he spins around and delivers a heavy kick to the beast, shoving it straight back across the dirt. After creating some breathing room, Gongding suddenly yells, "Chen, this boss already made the first move on me." He strongly emphasizes his bold point. "I know what you're thinking, claiming a boss while bleeding out? Absolute madness. Do not interfere with my fight." Those harsh words actually make Chen freeze for a second. But then, Chen's eyes turn dead serious. His system screen flashes, showing the beast as a mid-C tier threat. He glances back at the monster and sees an upper C tier screen pop up. Ivan jumps down to help. "Gongding, you need immediate medical healing right now." Tainu quickly backs him up. "I suggest we pause this exam and retreat. This boss is way too deadly for you." But Gongding pushes his cultivation technique right into the wound and straight up refuses. "No." Chen locks his eyes onto that completely reckless, wild move. He instantly understands the play. Is he seriously using the intense heat of his flames to cauterize it? Gongding tightly grits his teeth together. "I refuse your suggestion." Then he loudly declares to everyone, "This battle is not over until there is a clear winner." Standing across from him, the monster charges forward without an ounce of fear. Both sides launch their most decisive strikes. They are evenly matched. Meanwhile, on the outside, Wu Kui speaks up. "We have actually seen situations where a dungeon entrance just vanishes like this before. That means there is a highly intelligent boss lurking on the inside." He slowly breaks down the terrible situation. It actively forces the entrance open, waits for humans to walk in, and shuts it to trap them. The guy standing next to him starts wondering, "So what do you and I make of this? Are they locked in forever?" Let's dive right back into the chaos. Kung Din is still stuck inside, and Vo Quiet drops a bombshell on escaping. His tone is dead serious. To reopen the exit, whoever is trapped inside has to kill the dungeon boss. Kung Huyen lets out a sigh. Inside a D-rank dungeon, there is a C-rank boss at the absolute maximum, and since their average combat power is already C-rank, they figure taking down the boss should be no problem at all. But Vo Quiet shuts that down fast. No, that D-rank label is nothing but a clever disguise for the boss. He explains that based on his own strict observations, this exact dungeon is highly likely the real mastermind behind the massive string of missing awakened cases they have been investigating for so long. Hearing that makes Kung Huyen completely panic. This place is actually a B-rank death trap in disguise. Vo Quiet stands tall, his voice totally unshaken. This zone is extremely dangerous. Meanwhile, deep inside the dungeon, the mantis soldier is unleashing a crazy barrage of razor-sharp slashes. Kung Din tries blocking it, but he gets pushed back effortlessly. The beast strikes his arm, sending him skidding hard across the floor. Yet, his eyes still burn with pure determination. The mantis soldier raises its massive spiked arm high up, roaring loudly before preparing to strike him right down. Kung Din quickly leaps up to dodge, and the monster's sharp arm stabs straight into the solid ground. Now watch this, the monster's blade sinks so deeply it gets totally stuck. Seizing the high ground, Kung Din dives down with total confidence. Your fatal flaw is finally exposed. He picks the perfect split second to unleash a brutal, clean slash, completely severing the monster's head from its neck. The giant head of the mantis soldier just rolls away across the dirt floor. Everyone present watches this insane execution unfold right before their eyes. Tai Engu speaks up, absolutely stunned. Kung Din actually managed to solo the dungeon boss. She openly praises his solid combat skills. You really can never underestimate a guy like Kung Din. Over here, Ivan is busy healing Sato. He asks, "How are you doing? Got your feeling back yet?" The old man replies with pure relief. "Good thing you healed me so fast." Suddenly, the comms watch on Sato's wrist blares a harsh warning. He stares at his arm in total shock. What is going on? My smart bracelet just completely lost all connection to the outside world. Ivan flinches in surprise too. Mine is dead as well. Tai Nu jumps in, her voice full of worry. All signals are jammed, and the navigation compass system is glitching out too. Sato stares at the completely frozen drone hovering in front of him. Even the camera robot broke. Since when? Hearing this, Kung Din feels incredibly confused about the situation. You and I both thought it was over, right? Suddenly, the mantis soldier starts glowing and floats up. Even without a head, this absolute nightmare leaps up to attack Kung Din again. Out of nowhere from behind, a massive flurry of slashes tears right through its body. Tran arrives on the scene, dicing the mantis soldier into tiny pieces. He instantly scores 2,000 experience points. Kung Din looks totally baffled. I clearly chopped this monster's head right off a second ago. How could it still move around? Tran looks back at him and replies, that monster was never the real boss. From the very beginning, it was trapped under some hypnotic state, meaning it could keep moving even after dying. He fiercely warns everyone to evacuate this twisted dungeon immediately, because if they stay, the next ones to get hypnotized might just be them. Hearing that makes him even more shocked. He asks him, how do you know that? Over on the side, Sato frowns and yells, what kind of nonsense are you spouting? There can only be one C-rank boss inside this entire dungeon. Tran just stands there, calmly listening to the old man shout. That beast was at least an upper-tier C-rank monster. How could it not be the boss? But stick with me here right in front of him. His system is flashing endless code-red danger warnings. Stick with me here. A high-level monster is hiding in that cave, blasting out some seriously creepy demonic sound waves. The sound easily slips right into the Holy Guard's mind through her ears. Ivan and Sato share the exact same fate, getting completely hypnotized and mutating fast. Tran scrambles to throw on headphones, blocking out the noise. But he realizes it is way too late for them. This specific frequency? He knows it well. It is the exact same sound wave Wrath used back in his past life. That was when his little sister, Tu Van, was brutally murdered. Wrath used it to hypnotize and slaughter countless innocent people all over the world. Right now, Tran stays totally calm and just watches. He stands back, watching the hypnotized victims stagger around. He realizes the lord of this demon cave must be directly connected to Wrath. They slowly march into the cave, and he follows, telling himself it is finally time they meet. The group just keeps heading deeper and deeper underground. Danger warnings keep flashing right in front of Tran. Soon they hit a dead end, packed with green eggs lying everywhere. In the distance, massive giant snakes are guarding something important. Tran steps up quietly, walking right past the countless skeletons of previous victims. He carefully notes to himself that it feels like Wrath. The hypnotic sound waves are all on the alpha frequency. To counter Wrath, he already prepped beta frequency audio that can completely cancel it out. These guys have zero hypnosis defense right now, meaning they could lose their lives anytime. Now pay attention. Tran needs to finish this boss fast. The thing under the cloth suddenly speaks up, staring down the people who just entered. It spots him and lets out a creepy sigh. So strong, so fresh. Tran glares right back. Its ghostly voice echoes, a new body? Flashback to years ago. A bloody little hand loosely grips a wooden stick. Kung Din just survived an absolutely brutal, life-or-death beating. Kung Lam sits praising him. Very good. You won again today, Kung Din. He is only 8 years old, but his face stays cold. His eyes? Pure hatred. His father points at the opposite chair. Winners come up and eat. Hearing that, Kung Din drops the stick. Below, 8-year-old Kung Thon holds his bruised body, hearing his punishment. Losers kneel overnight. Cut to the middle of that night. Moonlight shining down. Kung Thon kneels there in punishment, his stomach growling loud. Suddenly, Kung Din's voice speaks up, holding out some bread. Eat this. Kung Thon whispers in fear. Brother, if father finds out, you will be punished. Kung Din cuts him off. Stop talking nonsense. Just eat. You knew this was coming, right? Kung Din takes a brutal, bloody hit. Kung Din kneels there trembling, fists clenched tight, staring at his father's leather whip. Kung Lam coldly asks him, Do you know why our Kung family has our current high status today? He frowns and continues, Because your father here is a permanent winner. Only the winner gets to make the absolute rules. Kung Lam adds, And you kids can only obey my rules. Young Kung Din grits his teeth, looking up. So if I beat you, I make the rules? The only answer he gets is Kung Lam's wicked, scheming smile. Sometime later, a broken sword crashes hard onto the ground. Kung Din coughs blood. You and I just watched pure willpower. He forces out, I challenged you. Stick with me here, why did Wu Kuei just beat him? He screams out in pure shock. Why let the Emperor group make a move? Gonglin just gives a cold, dark laugh. My real power is not just about raw physical strength, but the absolute control I hold in my hands. He steps closer, making his point crystal clear. Human rules are never as simple as you think they are, but one single truth is absolutely unbreakable. Clenching his fist, Gonglin stares down at his pathetic son and spits out the brutal answer. You have to win! Gong Ting just kneels there on the ground, listening silently. The methods do not matter at all. The final result is the only thing that counts. As my son, you must always claw your way up to be the absolute number one. Even if you have to throw away family, duty, or dreams, you must win at all costs. Gonglin glares, confirming his brutal command. Winning is literally the only reason you are allowed to exist in this twisted world. Young Gong Ting could only sit there questioning himself. Is winning really my only value? The only reason I exist? Now watch this shift back in the present cave. The hypnotized team stands right in front of the dungeon boss. Chen quietly realizes this monster feels exactly like Wrath. The brainwashing sound waves it uses are all on the alpha frequency. To counter Wrath, he already prepped a beta sound wave that can cancel out that mind control magic completely. He carefully watches his helpless team. These guys have zero defense against the hypnosis right now, meaning they could easily lose their lives at any given second. Chen fires up his skill, telling himself he needs to obliterate this dungeon lord super fast. Out of nowhere, Gong Ting grabs his wrist. Clutching a nasty chest wound with his other hand, he stops him with a low whisper. Hold on a second. His voice shakes slightly. Chen, I have no idea how you dodged that hypnosis. Meanwhile, dark blood just keeps dripping down from his open wound. He keeps talking. But I actually used my own brutal method to stay wide awake. Gong Ting quietly explains his insane logic right there. Listen to me. If you expose yourself and attack now, every single person here is in extreme danger. He glances sideways. You and I both see those creepy eggs over there, right? Gong Ting warns him. If we wake those things up, by that point, even if we ignore the dungeon lord, we are facing dozens of C-tier monsters at the exact same time. We are absolutely going to die. He continues warning him. This boss disguised this whole area as a low-rank dungeon just to lure in awakened fighters and drain them completely dry. Gong Ting frowns in deep frustration. It will definitely approach us on its own. He pitches a wild survival idea. I say we stay hidden first, wait for the boss to get close, and then kill it together. Chen replies, surprised he actually thought this far ahead, but he shoots it down fast. That plan is not going to work at all. This dungeon lord does not even need to attack personally. Chen knows the truth with just a single thought. It can make the hypnotized victims completely self-destruct in the blink of an eye. Moving like a blur, Chen chops the back of their necks, dropping them safely to the ground before they can react. This actually stuns the hidden boss lurking in the shadows. Staring down at them, its creepy voice finally echoes through the cave. Something else was definitely slipped into the food. The dungeon boss roars its command. Kill them for me, slaughter them right now. Those humanoid bugs smash out of their eggs all at once in massive numbers. The mantis soldiers finally appear, absolute killer C-tier monsters ready for blood. Trust me, you are not ready for this. The monster horde charges straight at Chen. Alright, stick with me. Gongting knows it is time for the extreme backup plan. He draws his sword and calls out. Chen, I need a favor. Stepping up bravely, he says, take those 3 out of the lair. I will stay back and block these monsters. Hearing this immediately catches Chen completely off guard. Gongting adds quickly, even if I cannot beat these demons, buying you guys some time is totally doable. The mantis soldier monsters screech loudly, charging right in to attack them both. Unleashing a rapid combo of sword strikes to block them, he continues speaking. I suggested this dungeon run first, so I am the one who endangered everyone. After the heavy clash, both he and the monster bounce back instantly. He slams his blade deep into the ground to break. Frowning with pure duty, he claims, I started this whole mess, so let me finish it. Hearing this, Chen smoothly steps right up to Gongting. Switching his class, he replies, guess I misjudged you before, but you were not the only one who agreed to enter this dungeon. Chen draws his blade, shifting into his Lightning Assassin class mode. Standing before Gongting, he declares, I am in this too. Both of them lock their intense gaze on the monster swarm. Now pay attention here. That mysterious boss glaring down from above? Pure nightmare fuel. Lightning crackles around Chen as he confidently declares, leave that boss to me. Gongting rejects this. No way, Chen. We absolutely cannot win this fight. I can feel it. This lord's power level completely outclasses both of us. He adds, it is at least B rank, maybe even hit A rank already. Gongting looks back at their knocked out friends and suggests immediately, so hurry up and retreat with them. It is the only option. Chen replies calmly, this lord is definitely tough, but the lair gate is already shut. Otherwise, the Imperial Guild team would have sent backup in ages ago. Hearing this, he gasps in utter shock. Wait, what? The dungeon gate is already closed? Let that sink in. Chen knows an A-rank boss matches the Black Spirit Lion King. Insane odds. Right at this moment. The mantis soldiers shriek loudly, rushing forward to attack the two of them. One monster fiercely slashes its sharp legs at Chen, but he easily blocks it. Just then, another one jumps in to strike from the flank. Spotting this, Gongting dashes over and yells a warning. Watch out! He and Chen unleash moves together, making both monsters spew green blood. Seeing this, the rest of the swarm charges in simultaneously. Gongting panics. This is bad. Facing this many monsters, we are totally dead sooner or later. Before he can even finish, crackling lightning from Chen's hands completely cuts him off. He enters his Lightning Assassin state, activating Thunderblade. A massive barrage of swords made from pure lightning is launched forward. The Thunderblades pierce right through the monsters' necks, instantly killing them. He quickly uses Flash Step, gripping his lightning sword and dashing ahead. With just one swift pass, Chen takes down countless mantis soldiers. Gongting is absolutely stunned. Trust me, you and I are too. Stick with me here, we're watching him slaughter monsters. But remember, the assassin class has super low strength stats. Being completely surrounded like this should be a massive disadvantage. But look at this. Every single strike from Tran hits their weak points with absolute precision. Entire waves of these monsters are getting wiped out with zero effort. Kung Din realizes the trick. He is using pure speed and crazy technique to replace brute strength. He narrows his eyes and focus. Right now, this kid's speed has easily reached the A rank level, at minimum. Meanwhile, Tran is literally dancing through the massive crowd of deadly monsters. His lightning sword endlessly cuts them down. Seeing this, Kung Din firmly grips his own weapon and thinks to himself, maybe they actually have a real chance of winning this impossible fight. Without hesitation, he focuses his absolute hardest, activating his special skill and making his massive blade glow brightly. Pay close attention here, the boss finally breaks his silence with a creepy voice, yelling, too noisy. Its eyes flash with pure evil, dark aura exploding everywhere as it roars out. Ultimate max enhancement. The strength and vitality of the mantis soldiers instantly skyrocket to absolute insane levels. They physically mutate and evolve, growing into massive, towering giant nightmare creatures. As Tu Tran watches in confusion, the boss orders them to instantly chop him up. But right then, Tu Tran's entire body erupts in a blinding, brilliant yellow glow of pure lightning energy. The exact second a massive, razor-sharp leg slams down, he leaps up to dodge, then immediately unleashes a brutal combo, slashing straight down into the monster's back, dealing absolute massive damage. Over on the sidelines, Kung Din grits his teeth with fierce determination, silently praying for Tu Tran to hold his ground. Our boy is still gathering massive energy, getting completely ready for a deadly finishing blow. Tu Tran dashes forward with one wild strike, instantly taking down 2 enhanced beast monsters. You saw that coming, right? Another one suddenly teleports right behind his back. But with his absolute godlike speed, Tu Tran violently swaps positions, appearing behind the beast, fully ready to swing his blade. He coldly lands a brutal hit, heavily damaging yet another fully enhanced monster. It shrieks out in pure agony, but immediately snaps its ugly head back toward its terrifying opponent. The giant mantis soldier launches a deadly strike, but Tu Tran throws his arm up just in time. However, the pure brute force pushes him sliding backward across the rough ground. Tu Tran thinks to himself, these fully enhanced mutant monsters have stats almost reaching the deadly B rank. Plus, their armor is rock solid. Facing this endless swarm, he actually starts feeling a little bit anxious. He cannot easily snipe their weak spots anymore like he did earlier. He needs to crack that armor. Suddenly, Kung Din screams from behind him. Thank you so much, Tu Tran. He triggers a secret technique, sacrificing his other main stats for an absolute massive explosion of raw strength. Kung Din yells, you bought enough time. Trust me, you guys are not ready for this.